Right, guys, we are loading into game number 1. This is Fraser River, and this is going to be... Let's get all the UI set up. No, I do not want to pick a home city. Thank you very much. So, game number 1, Brit versus India on Fraser River. We have Chusik playing as the British civilization, spawning into the southwest of the map. His opponent, lemmings121, spawning into the northeast of the map. We do see just a food crate start, I believe. Looks like the British player had 300 food crates and just the 300 wood as well. Early TP coming from Chusik. We are playing on ESOC patch 8.2, and so we still are in the realms of random crate starts, and that's like I will have to keep an eye out on. Alright, just quickly, we'll turn down the game sounds. Game sounds just a little bit, music off as always, scroll speed down a little bit lower, and let us see what's going on. Right, so early TP come down from Chusik, going for the first TP, chopping wood at base, going for that first manor house, so 1 manor house, early trading post. Will Chusik go for 3 Virginia Company? The idea is gone for an early TP, suggests he will do so, but we'll have to find that out. Lemmings, on the other hand, both explorers moving down to the southeastern map. They're going to see a wolf pup, possibly 3 stray sheep, and you know, because we are playing with these 2 players, we actually can see what they're looking at, and let's see what the Indian player has as an idea. So he's scouting down to the side, sees the train post, doesn't see any other treasures, so he's going to go back for the wolf pup here. Stuns both the treasures, gets a splash damage off, and that's an extra guardian joining the Indian Age 1 army. Chusik, on the other hand, gathering at home, pretty standard. Got the 3 shipment in queue there. You see the population 14 out of 20. So let's go into shipment sent and units in queue and see when they arrive. Chusik's currently on that far northwest of the map, just across the Fraser River himself onto Lemmings territory. Sees a 50 food treasure, starts to take on the cougar. Not really kiting his treasure, just wants to get this one safely in the basket without having to get stolen by those pesky Indian elephants. 90 foods nearby, scouted out by Chusik as well, 3 roofs, and I'm sure the explorer does have his crack shot available, so we'll have to see if he goes to that and whether the crack shot's available. I think Chusik saw that wood treasure but decided to leave it alone, and India's got himself an extra 40 wood. That's quite nice of India. Their villagers, they cost wood, and that means Lemmings can just stop chopping now if he wanted to, I believe. Does have that 1 vill in queue. No, that's Chusik Lemmings. He's got 1 vill in queue. Does have distributors them on the way. Is he going to see the explorer? He doesn't. I don't think he sees that treasure. So Chusik's going to get that treasure for himself. Quite nice there. So yeah, nice pickup there for Chusik. 90 food. That extra 40 wood though, that should just help Lemmings get to the required number of vills he would like before changing all vills onto food. 50 food being picked up by Kamchatka. Chusik is on to the next stage, and Lemmings will surely be aging up behind as well, and he does. Moves all his villagers onto wood. Fort Agra right in the middle of the main choke between the 2 rivers, and that's a really nice place. You can see the British explorers nearby trying to scout it, possibly trying to block it. That's why Lemmings sent 2 villagers forward as well, in case explorers standing right here. Lemmings could try and build Agra here, could try and build the Agra possibly here if he's feeling very aggressive, but the other villager nearby can provide support to drop the Agra back here if needed. So, Chusik, 3 vills, sent first card, does have a shipment ready to go. Looks like Chusik did not send Virginia Company, and that is strange to have a deck which doesn't have Virginia Company in, and you went for a TP first. Maybe just having the Virginia Company there just to potentially dupe your opponents could be quite nice, and maybe force the Indian player to be a bit more aggressive and play into your own hands if you can read around that. That's the that's the one annoying thing about casting from Rex. We get to hear every single input the player makes, and I think Lemmings must have tapped the train villager key about 20 times there. He does get the villager in, and I think going from a purely food income to get that age up in a decent time to then change from vills all onto wood to get the villagers being queued again. A little bit tighter macro in places, but luckily that was sorted out there. Right, Chusik has sent his first shipment in the second age, likely to be 700 wood. A couple manor houses forward, making a nice line of sight wall. We take off the fog wall for Chusik. You can see what he can see. He can see the aggro fort going up. You can see he wants to try and get some sort of defensive line for maybe units to fire behind, get a bit of line of sight. He does have a manor house over here providing line of sight over this choke passage. Maybe other units moving from this river across this way and raiding behind the base. But we'll have to see how that pans out. Oh, Chusik, 500 food age up without Virginia Company. This isn't standard British players you'd see. Going 700 wood, 600 wood. It's like Chusik's going for the mana boom, but without cheaper manors. Does have gang saw, and it looks like Chusik's committing to chop in more wood. So, it looks like Lem is going to get to that second age. First shipment, 5 seapoys, as you do. We'll keep a couple of seapoys now, two in queue. Another villain queue behind this. Just putting some pressure on that trading post. Nothing too over-committal at this moment. Does have that tame wolf, remember. And although it's not going to be doing much in terms of combat, does get the bit of scouting information off. And does check that Chusik, he does have his greatcoats. Sees longbowmen opening up from Chusik, and that's there. That's the information that the tame wolf was looking for. So really nice play there. Trying both some transition for Lemmings. Does he have a market to home yet? No, not yet. A couple of vills out forward. These are the vills being sent due to the vills building aggro fort, but also vills being sent forwards due to the Indian shipments. But here comes the Indian seapoy push. We see 11 seapoys this time. Lemmings slacking a little bit. Only getting 4 seapoys out that first batch instead of that magic 5. But does come in at a nice time. And it's going to put a bit of pressure on. Let's see what Lemmings is going to get done. He's going to move to the back side of the base. I think he's just trying to poke around and not being overcommittal. You should know where the hunt is in this map. It's 2 sets of hunt in base, or maybe 1 starting and 2 on the plateau to be herded in. He is putting pressure on his manor house, and was this all done by the Lemmingsville? That is a very sneaky play. I must have missed that, but that's a lot of elks to kill and not gather from. I have to think that's probably Lemmings being very aggressive with his villagers. If that is, I'll have to check back, but that is a very annoying play to say the least. But in a tournament game, well, anything goes. Well, here comes the march of the longbows. Are longbows the best versus seapoys? Not really. They can't kite, and once they stand and fight, the seapoys can just close in. Seapoys can do some good damage in hand combat versus longbowmen. But Lemmings is India, or Indian shall I say. He has access to the Force Hours, Ottoman Consulates, Hussars with the Fringe export. I don't know why he has 14 Zambraks in the 4th age, that's a bit of a weird card, but each to their own, I guess. Right, aggro fort firing onto the longbowman a little bit. Seapoys got to back off, they do see the pikemen. Pikemen could snare and snare these seapoys and allow the longbow to close in and fire from distance. I don't think Lemmings wants that, he just wants to back off. It has 2 train posts under control now. Built that with 600 wood. Market went down. Silver Servants first tech. I'm expecting Hunting Eagles, Professional Hunters, and then Flume and Ditching to come in as the techs behind. Might be a bit early for Imperial Bureaucracy, but we'll have to see. Let's check in how Chusik's doing. Double pikes. Here come the 10 pikemen, and 10 pikes are very, very, very nice versus cavalry and buildings. Not much else though, and Chusik has only seen these seapoys. I'm sure he's expecting a Ottoman Hussar or Sour switch, so there's nice in preparation, and he's going to go for another batch of longbow behind this. Excellent macro here from Chusik though, spending all those resources to get a full batch of 10 longbows. Looking at the eco population, in favour of Chusik for the time being, and has the stronger market upgrades. The economy is firmly in favour of the teal player, and he's now feeling comfortable pushing out with 15 pike and 20 longbows. Let's see, 4 seapoys in queue, more longbows reinforcing, but those seapoys are about to pop out on top of this longbow army, and I feel that Lemmings wants to commit here, because otherwise those seapoys which are about to come out and somehow pathway to the far left of the map May want to change that waypoint of that aggro fort. 13 sepoys out are drastically outclassed by the 25 longbowguns in the so far. Units in queue. It looks like Lemmings has cancelled that sepoy. Yeah, he's cancelled the sepoy batch. What age behind this? I like that choice. Those sepoys would have been picked off very, very quickly if they had been made. So, showing progression from Chusik, 700 wood, 600 wood longbows, and 5 vills. So, you know, Lemmings quite happy that Chusik has sent 6 longbows, but you know, the eco is still in favour of rich player, and he's now pushing out with longbows. Those sepoys have just firmly run away here. I think Chusik can just feel that he has this tempo advantage, pushing out with more longbows. Getting another batch of pikes at this point. A little bit low on that wood count. Sending 4 vills behind this. I'm not sure from Chusik about this one. I think if you're sensing an age up, probably need to send that 700 coin at some point. Right, Chusik pushing in. Let's look at Chusik's line of sight. What does Chusik see? He sees a couple of vills on the hunt, and they're running away from the town centre. That's there hugely is a nice juicy bait for Chusik to chase after. He's seen vills away from any garrison points. Is he going to go for it? No, he's going to check that back coin mine. He's going to be checking something. He's just standing around the houses and trying to siege Indian houses. Nice play as well. But I feel that if you are in somebody's base, and oh, he sees the coin, he sees the age up, he sees the coin, he knows it's the Taj Mahal, obviously he knows that Lemmings is in the 3rd age. Siege a couple of houses and back off, that would be the sensible play here. Lemmings could go for, not Howder, Mahout's first card, could go for Urumi, ceasefire and try and get these faster units onto the sluggish longbowmans, to be said, only 4 speed. Sepoys siege, poking down the pikemen, sieging down the trading posts, and oh, stagecoach as well. That's questionable play from Lemmings. Aging up behind us because you couldn't get those sepoys out, but then you've already got this stagecoach at the front which you can't really defend, and this could go bad for Lemmings here. But shipment is on the way. Look at that population. 7 Urumi about to come out. Sepoys and, more importantly, the elephants are moving in position. More pikes coming though, but guess what? Pikemen are very terrible against. That's right, Urumi. Urumi's an interesting shipment. Heavy infantry, great versus pikemen, but here's the engagement. Urumi gets on the top side. No ceasefire required here because he's already got the engagement he needs. Snaring the longbow. The pikemen are running away because they don't want to get caught by the Urumi, but actually, do you fight with the pikemen here? Because you get the elephants, but you're going to sack these off to the Urumi, and these longbows are pretty much dead anyway. So he's going to engage with the pikemen. Urumi's still snaring the longbows. A couple of sepoys behind. That's quite nice. But you can see this Urumi just tanks so much damage behind this. Has another shipment ready to go. Currently housed. Could go intervention, consulate, but look at these Urumis just smashing into these pikemen. And these guys are very clustered on top of each other. So much damage for Lemmings, and that is a crucial pop. A pop which keeps Lemmings in the game. And game changing as well. Chusik's now on the back foot, and if Chusik wants to age, it's going to take a while, and he's horribly mismacroed. I think he wants to age. He's already got 30 vills on wood as well. A bit questionable. So that's a clean up there from Lemmings. Who says that ceasefire's overpowered? Lemmings did that without the use of ceasefire. It's not a remass. 9 sepoys coming out. Now getting the disciplined sepoys. I'm just going to push Brit's resources and... Oh, how is Chusik going to defend this? He's got a couple longbows in queue. Should be able to complete the batch. Well, probably only get 5 longbows out of this, right? Okay, he does get 8. May have bought a bit of food there. But all his food in this valley, and Lemmings is nearby, and you can see in the UI a bit of bug there. You can see where Lemmings units were, but Lemmings knows that the British player is out on the valley floor hunting. He knows that these elks are already picked off and dead, so the British player is likely to go down to the east side. And how is this going to happen? Okay, disciplined sepoys scouted out by Chusik's going to start to back off, but he doesn't. One sepoy, one lone sepoy from Lemmings. He's going to see all this. He's going to see all these villagers. You bet your bottom dollar he's going to turn these sepoys and Yomi around. Sending 8 Gurkhas behind this. It's now gone to Sours. Vet Sours instead of any Mahout play. So, interesting choices here from both players. And the 8 Gurkhas, these are colonial units. And does Gurkha sepoy work well? You only have 1 barracks to produce. Could be quite tough. Raid coming south side, but Sours are renowned for their inability to raid. They're pretty poor units. Low base attack. It gets a bit of, you know, Vil raiding in terms of eco discrepancy. Vil's having to get into the town centre, but easy Minutemen call, picks off another camel, and the camels have to go back. And that pop of Sours, they haven't really achieved anything substantial as of yet. Those Vils are still hunting down here. But Chusik, he's a bit of a problem now. He really needs to push and control these 3 hunts to that southeast of the map, but on the other side of this trading post, a little bit away from Chusik's base and safety. But if he wants to hunt, he needs to do that. Native posts on this map, the Cheyenne hunting grounds. You can get the TP and research the hunting grounds to give you 12 bison at the town centre, and that is a tactical option available for both players. Chusik may want to do that, but dropping a forward town centre on his 2 coin mines and the hunt suggests that Chusik's just going to go for the natural resources here and push out with his army and cover. Sours getting a nice pick up on the Minutemen. I thought that was Vils for a second, but it's only Minutemen. But even still, that's extra scouting information from Chusik. He knows that more Sours are being made from Lemmings. How is Chusik going to reply? He doesn't know that another 5 have been trained from Lemmings here. But I just don't feel the vibes of going into Discipline Sours. There's 2 siege elephants coming out preemptively for the falconets. Hasn't scouted them yet, but knows that Chusik is very likely to go for falconets to counter this infantry-heavy army. A couple of vet hussars sieging the ward, being annoyance to Lemmings, and the game continues. Oh! Okay, here's the Sours. The sepoys are somewhere else, and the longbow being kited back. Musk's moving forward. Quite a few going to hand combat. They might actually get the falconets here, but he's going to pay a lot of these disciplined Sours, and they do cost 160 res each, and this may look like to be a pretty poor trade for Chusik, but actually it's not as bad as it looks. Those longbows do need to turn and fire, and yeah, Inti's just lost all his cavalry. He's picked up the falconets, but he's lost all his cavalry, and with British player having a much better eco, I think he'd be alright with that trade, you know? You can just eco behind this. He does have 2 town centres, just a couple more Vils. He's got access to the elk. Lemmings hasn't pushed the hunt just yet. I think Lemmings is coming in though. He's making 3 more Sours and sending 3 Mahouts. A couple more Sours are going to get picked off by these vet hussars, maybe trying to bait Chusik forward, but Chusik's got his lovely choke in between Lemmings' walls. He may actually want to delete all his walls now before engaging. But another Vil going down. Longbows, very, very long range. Lemmings not quite ready to commit just yet. You see he's going to pull back. He sees this infantry force here. Sees a couple of these hussars. A batch of 5 dragoons as well, which is probably not the sight Lemmings really wants to see. He has invested now into his Mahout cavalry. That's 1,000 food to send that shipment, remember. It is one of their big power spikes in the 3rd age. But Chusik, I don't know. He's pushing forward into India. India has some very strong shipments to pop onto these units. Chusik is ahead in eco. Does he really need to do this? Okay, here comes the ceasefire. Chusik needs to run. He's trying to get out of here. Bit slow reaction from Lemmings. Don't worry, guys. This isn't just a recording game. Every unit is slow speed. 3.4 sepoys, 5.10 mahouts, 4.0 speed longbows, and yeah, it looks like Chusik's just able to back out there. Maybe Lemmings was just trying to scare Chusik away, and a simple click of a button like that provided the results he needed. But Chusik's out on the map. He has access to hunts. He's right next to Cheyenne. TP. I'm not too sure that's on his agenda. The second town centre, it has to be a mistake. Okay, the third town centre, I mean, it has to be a mistake. There's no way he can really afford that, but he's already up ahead in quite a lot of score, and Eco's been in favour for a while. I think Chusik's happy with his position. He's feeling to be content with his position. Right. Currently just making vills, only one has batch at the moment. Not really mass producing units at the moment, and that military population equal for both players. If we look at the Lemons and see what he's rocking with, still making those disciplined sours, and it's not like Lemons has sent Camel Attack or Desert Terror as of yet, so these are just standard veteran units. I assume he's got the British consulate somewhere. Oh no, he hasn't. Lemons, what are you doing? No consulate. No consulate. Are you having a giggle for real? In a tournament game, no consulate. You must be having a giggle. That is such a mistake for Lemons. The Brit consulate providing a massive HP buff for all the units. Currently, I think it's around 8%, and access to Redcoat Musketeers for basically for free. You could go for Russia, Siberian Cossacks, Ottoman Hussars, but no consulate. It just feels so bad. You can see though, he's trying to cut off the retreat for Chusik in his passage. But at the moment, if these two armies fight, India may win, but the remass will be firmly in favour of Chusik. Let's see how this game pans out. So East India Company shipment has arrived, so these sepoys are now buffed with the 10% combat card. Longbows have now seen, so they're going to stand and fire, but Mahoots coming in this side. Quite a few vet hussars here to block. Musketeers going straight into hand combat. One Mahout's already down, but these distant sours are on top of the Dragoons. Dragoons, they need to really move back, but at this point, I can understand why Chusik's focusing down the Mahoots and focusing his attention on that. It's hard to cut everything, but it's just enough. Veteran Hussars to move to the top side to go on to some Gurkhas and Minutemen, but Longbows with these Yeoman upgrade just affecting that range. It's just going to stand and deliver, and that's what the British player is doing right now, taking a very decent trade for the time being. But regardless of the military outcome, the eco backing up is just going to be so strong for Chusik. And the thing with Lemons though, he's committed to this fight. His army's split. He's going to move one away, but he's just going to move them back into British reinforcements. Double Minutemen popped, who has been called to catch up with these reinforcements. A Colonial Gurkha, that's a sad sight to see, unfortunately. But Chusik's backing off. He's taking an engagement. He's aware he's got not much anti-cavalry now. He's just going to back off and remass. Yeah, double Musk and Husk production at this point. Picks off the Gurkhas very quickly with the Yeoman. Where those other sepoys, they are coming in. He has remassed quite a lot of them. Part of me thinks that Lemons didn't fight with all of those sepoys there. Husk raid left side, very nice from Chusik. We'll have to... Oh, well, he can't get out there because he's been walled in. So these Hussars are essentially trapped. He's buying time, though, from these sepoys, pulling the Indian army to the far northwest of the map. But Chusik is just moving in with longbows. Longbows, which are countered by camels, are just shredding through these camels as if they're nothing, to be honest. And that's just the power of having a massed ranged infantry army. A couple of mills nearby. But this is the point where we're in the semi-finals of a tournament, and both players are fantastic players. But I feel map preparation is lacking from Chusik. You have a Cheyenne Zeman right here, hunting grounds. You have steel traps. It's just such. If once you realise it and consciously realise it's there, at this point of the game, it's an absolute no-brainer. But I can understand both players. Their actions per minute are very high. They're mentally strained. Bit of tunnel vision. Maybe Chusik's thinking he's in a safe position. Just want to play standard and don't have to go too far out the box here. But that's Cheyenne settlement is up for gathering, up for the grabs, and so these settlers are going onto this forward coin mine of Lemons, and that just shows how much eco Chusik has. He just doesn't have any coin back at home, really. A couple of coin mines here and there. He still has 2,000 coin by his town centre. These villas moving across the river, I get, but it's not safe. You really want to go for the silver mine first, just to ensure that those villas aren't going to get picked off by some sort of 10 sepoy raid.
Commandment?
He does have his greatcoats though, so he has that going for him. and the game progresses. I just want to quickly check though at Chusik's cards. Let's go into Chusik's point of view and see what cards he has sent. Yes, that's nice. Wow, Chusik has sent, I can see at the bottom what we're doing. He has sent Yeoman, we've seen that come in. He's also sent Musketeer Combat and Cavalry Combat, so very, very, very strong units on the field for Chusik. I feel at this point, with all this wood that Chusik's gathered, an Arsenal wouldn't go amiss at this point. I don't see the Arsenal down. Oh, I do now. Has he got those techs? Well, no, he hasn't got any techs. No, absolutely none. Is he going to be researching any? Tech's being researched? Not quite yet. Maybe it's been thrown down. But here's the next fight. Musketeers from that front line. Longbows being pulled back to utilise their maximum range. But this chokes. The Sours basically have to go straight through the Musketeers. Musketeers carded 15%. Sours, they do have Sepoys. They do have their 10% combat card and discipline status. A couple of redcoats as well, but no cards on them. Just Royal Veterancy. I think they're the same strength really as Musketeers. Oh, even weaker. But actually, not a bad fight here for Lemmings. Those Sours pushing through those Hussars and now onto the longbow backbone. But the reinforcements just so much better for Chusik. The eco is there. He needs to complete his Huss batch. He does. Another 5 Hussars in the way. But look at those military units. Just 28 longbows just ripping through these sepoys. These units aren't even that great versus heavy infantry. Just has so many units here. A high rate of fire. Not having to move. And yeah, that's Chusik fighting there in a choke. Lemmings just couldn't wrap around with those cavalry units, and I think that's what led that fight to Chusik a little bit better. Eco favour in favour of Chusik, so is military. I'm expecting Chusik just to push in right now and close this game off. And he's going to do that by pushing onto India's eco on the left-hand side. No point pushing the plateau because there's not exactly... well, there are quite a few villas. He's built rice paddies, and even in itself, that's a win. Okay, 2 outposts in his coin mine. Good defense, but these villas are trapped over here. They can't run back, and this is what I was talking about of risky villas. Not biggest fan here, but there are 5 vet hussars and Indian villages over here as well. So trading off raids in at this point, and it's still a massive Brit army on Lemmings' side of the map. I still think Chusik's in a commanding position. Tries to move the vills into Chusik in Lemmings' base. Here comes the vill raid. Going to catch up with the British infantry army and just take cover here. That's quite a fun little play, that is. Ceasefire has been called. What is Lemmings planning? He's got a Brit Musk pop, 6 sepoys coming in. He's got sepoys behind, a couple of Zambraks now. Colonial Zambraks, no upgrades, discipline Sours. Oh, Sours, they do have the British East India combat card. I never realised that. And that actually makes this play from Lemmings not too bad of an idea. Carded Sours. Maybe you could team that up with the Camel attack as well for some really strong units. But you want to try and get that in the colonial age. But it's just more stuff here from Chusik. Longbows, they're not having to move around. The AI is just taking 1 infantry at the time. A couple of Hussars sieging, but that's just a problem with Z moving. But mostly longbows are firing versus heavy infantry. A bit of idle villagers here, 16 in the town centre not gathering. And I think that's just getting better and better for Chusik. The game stopped. The game is finished, I believe. Yeah, the game is finished. And Chusik is going to take 1-0 in his best of 7 series. So Lemmings missing out on that Brit consulate for such a long time. Goes for 11 sepoy rush. Didn't really manage to accomplish anything at this point. Went behind. Wait for more reinforcements. Wanted to try and train a few more sepoys. However, his sole production was caught out by the longbows and pikes. Had to cancel the batch. And with 1,200 food and 1,000 coins spare, he's thinking, well, I better age. And even at that point, just let go of his control of the trade route at this point. Chusik did come in for a very aggressive attack in the 3rd age, and once those Yomi came out and those longbow were pincered, Chusik decided to engage with his pikemen, but it feels like it's one of those scenes from, was it, the Pirates of the Caribbean, what is it, the officer, the British admiral or something, was saying, if you surrender now, most of you will die. If you fight now, all of you would die. And that is the case here. Chusik decided to fight with his pikemen, but the Yomi were like, oh, thank you very much, even more units to clean up here. The longbows were snared, they were never getting away, and that was a big fight for Chusik. I think we can see that in the post-game graph. Oh, it's Admiral Beckett, I think it was. Or Commodore Beckett. Yeah, that's... Oh, Chusik, what's happened here? What has happened here? 60 population down to 0 just on a Yurumi pop and a couple of sea poisons. Those sea poisons weren't even upgraded at that point. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. But the British eco behind us was too strong. And that wasn't even a Virginia Company boom as well. See that village account? Even sends in 5 vil, 4 vil after the 700 wood, 600 wood, 6 longbow, 5 vil, 4 vil, 700 coin, and makes 8 manors in transition. That's not an 8 vil shipment, that is 8 manors being built in transition. And that is that line of manors down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, so Chusik just having a massive eco as the game goes on, and with an eco that big and a couple of lemons not training a couple of villas here and there. Remember, he was massively housed at this point, couldn't actually get any production going. Single town centre. Chusik was just able to just boom his villas and even got up to 99 villas. I wasn't expecting that. So fair play to Chusik there. And that's the game. 1-0 to Chusik. Look at my lovely level 10 Amsterdam home city. Let's have a quick check on what this standard deck of cards in. Oh, the AI has picked a magnificent deck. 2 settlers, infinite 300 wood. Got out the Bank of Amsterdam there. Proper high level card there. Team cheap market improvements. Does have both the wood shipments though. That might be me actually picking those decks. I mean, choose new cards. No, I think I picked those actually wood crates there. But I was just testing something, or maybe just playing versus the AO, whatever. But remember that back in the day when we used to play single player with an actual low home city and actually properly build it up. Fun times. Right, game 2, let's move on. These caster games may take a while. Right, so we are on... Is this starting? Why can't I move? Oh, I'm on view lock. Oh no. Help, help, help. So, let's quickly look at the map pool. Chusik did win, so Lemons had to dip into his own map pool. Pampas Sierras, Tuparo, and Florida. So Lemons has chosen Pampas Sierras. Looks like Chusik. Let's go for the UI 2.1. Wow. So, ooh, this is interesting. So, okay, Chusik picked Dutch on Pampas Sierras. Lemons has counter-picked with the Russian civilization on Pampas Sierras, and I really dislike this opening pick from Chusik on this map. It's just... it feels awkward at the best of times versus Russia on no TP map, and this is a tournament game, so your defense has to be absolutely on point for this to work out, and we'll see if Lemons' Russian aggression will work. So, Lemons Russia, south of the map, in the colour red. Chusik playing Dutch on the top side. Wood crate start as well, so that might be a benefit to Lemons, but no, he's not gathering that wood crate. And Chusik not spending that wood crate in the first stage as well. So both players just using 100 wood out there, 200. No biggie. Envoy, top side, scouting out the llamas. That's where Lemons Explorer is, trying to pick those llamas up, while Chusik's getting free reign on the treasures on the right hand side. 75 food, I think that might be... It is just the 2 wolf treasures. Yeah. But it feels a bit weird going this aggressive and aggro versus the wolf treasures if you're expecting the Explorer to be picking up yaks on this side. I'm not liking losing 200 HP here from Chusik. And versus an aggressive civ like Russia, every little detail helps here, and that could help defending that early Cossack timing. Meanwhile, Lemon's going to pick up 80 coin, and in contrast, only loses 56 HP. Oh, Chusik is crack shot in 220 food. That's a great treasure to have in transition for the bank. but he's already sacrificed so much HP, he will need that envoy to tank as well. And actually, oh, why did you engage the Russian explorer there? I just, this is some high level, like, two players at the high level in a semi-final, serious game so far, but I just have to question some of Chusik's explorer control in the first stage, and it's not like you have that much extra things to control back at home. It is only age 1. That envoy, it's just, yeah, does that work? The Control Shift F works on the UI, but also works on the recorded game as well, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, so that envoy is very nice for tanking treasures, scouting treasures nearby the explorer. He's got the yaks. He has missed a couple yaks on that top side, so if he did take off the Fog of War, you can see there's 2 yaks where Chusik should have missed, and you should really have a rough idea of where the yaks spawn. It's a bit of a shame there, but this envoy is nowhere near the Dutch player's explorer, and the fact that the Dutch explorer is only on 124, if the Russian explorer gets immediate attack on Chusik, it's game over for that explorer, and a bit of a risky play, it has to be said. Right, let's speed through this one. Both players starting to be aging. Looks like Chusik aging up with the 15 vil in transition. Can't get the 14 vil on EP8 really, and Chusik hasn't had that great treasures. He did get 75 food, but not really going to help him at the moment, and he's missed his chance. He's just waiting for that envoy to come in, and his chance to get the 225 food to speed up that first bank in transition is just not going to work due to that poor envoy positioning and losing so much HP in that earlier treasure. So, sometimes you just have to think about how you use the explorer and how you prioritize taking treasures, speed, and not risk of it not getting stolen versus knowing that your opponent only has 1 explorer. So it's like when you're playing an opponent who, like, let's say they're playing France and they have a 200 wood crate start and they're going for the early TP. You know that you have time to get that first big treasure because they're not on the map as well, so you can kind of kite the treasures. Nice play though for Chusik, tanking with the envoy. You can see all this damage from the outlaw rifles going to this envoy, and the explorer can go quite nicely. But oh my god, why would you put a bank that far forward from your town centre? What is the purpose of that bank there? You're not going to make a nice fancy wall, are you? And that wall is going to be so far from the town centre and so expensive to construct. Lemmings is going to see that and thinking, oh, this is nice. Thank you very much. And if you lose a bank, that is 280 XP for your opponent, which is certainly not insignificant. Does age up, get the villain Q, gather up all this wood, but that extra 225 food and a couple llamas. Chusik could open stable here. Stable, 2 houses, and should be able to get a good batch of 5 hussars. But he's going 700 wood first, and on 700 wood you usually build a second bank, and that's what Chusik's doing. He's building. Oh, Chusik! That's not straight, is it? That is a very wonky bank. Unfortunately, there's a recorded game. There's not exactly much I can do about that, but Chusik. Luckily, this is a recorded game, else I'll be having words. Not serious words, but I still disagree with how far these banks are away from the town centre. You kind of want them in this position here, so town centre can siege. If you have any skirms behind, they have a nice defensive pocket here. The cavalry can't pass on, but this is just so wide open. And that's 700 wood. With 15 vil on EPA, I just don't think Dutch will have enough time to survive here. We need to build that stable with 2 vils ASAP. Like, the first thing he builds, stable 2 vils. You can see Lemmings units in queue. What is going on for Lemmings at the moment? 10 struts in queue, likely to have the 5 Cossacks as well. We're nearly at that time where those Cossacks are going to pop, and there's 5 Cossacks. 10 struts as well. Both are great versus town centre, and yes, actually Chusik's building the stable with 4 vils. So yeah, no, I agree with that, and that needs to be up before the Cossacks arrive. But Cossacks just run straight in To the town centre. Tries to get the body block on the villagers. He's building a market with 3 villas because he knows he can trade resources if things get really dodgy. Cossacks blocking a vill, 1 vill going down. Minute being called super early. No snare on the Cossacks. And all things considered, you kind of want to have these things together nice and timing. Strelets will come in. We'll see the Minutemen. We'll just back off, but we'll actually be quite happy to see that. Chusik sending pikes next. He needs a house because he's currently housed, so a house needs to come down. And in a normal build, this is the point you'd build your 3rd bank and send a bank wagon, but just this Russian aggression has just put Lemmings in just a bit of an awkward put Chusik in a bit of an awkward position here, and especially those pikemen. Just the problem is he just takes away his population space. He's got to get the house up. He does get 3 houses out. I thought he was going to miss that batch then. Hunting dogs with only 5 vills hunting at the moment. Yeah, hunting dogs is a bit of a... Well, it's not a tough tech to get in if you're not going for the 3rd bank, but now Chusik has all his wood. You know, he's gone for the 3 bank or 4 bank build, but he's been dissuaded due to Lemmings' aggression here. So it's just getting a bit awkward here for Chusik. Getting a bit awkward, it has to be said. 3 Hussars going for a raid, it looks like, but they do see the 5 Cossack, 10 Strelets this side. Do we have more reinforcements for Lemmings? The answer at the moment is not quite yet. Lemmings did go for 700 wood next. Built a stable, but no more infantry at the moment. I think Lemmings is just happy poking away, but just imagine if Chusik got a batch of 5 Hussars out and timed it with then the Minutemen and Pikemen, could have easily cleaned this entire force up. And another batch of Strelets from Lemmings, I think, is a bit brave. If you've seen the stable, has to be said. Second blockhouse going down. I like that, how it forms a nice defensive place. I guess this is as far forward the blockhouse can get. If not, I'd like to see that blockhouse doing a little bit forward. They both still cover each other, but just try and put maximum pressure on as possible. But all the hunt is on this kind of left-hand side, and I think that's the angle Lemmings really wants to push. Well, no, I'll take that back. All the hunts at the back of the base. Vills, no greatcoats just yet, and in a matchup like this, greatcoats is just mega important. Minutemen on 1 HP and all these Strelets, but big batch of Cossacks, of Hussars here, and Lemmings doesn't have any Musketeers present, and that's what I was saying. That second batch of Strelets was brave. Let's just see how this is going to happen. The Hussars are going to connect onto the Strelets. They can't really turn and fight the pikemen because the Hussars are here. Minutemen are just closing the distance, and any shots they can get on the Cossacks here are a bonus. Once the Cossacks go down, the Hussars can just get free reign in on the Strelets. And I think, yeah, Lemmings has abandoned the Strelets to go down. Pull the Cossacks back. Oh, he's going back for seconds. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. He sees the pikeman there. Hussar's getting more swings. He's trying his best to save the Strelets, but these are cheap anyway. And he's sending... Oh, please tell me the coin's not forward. Is it forward? No, it's at home. Oh, phew. But even still, needs musts. And there's another batch of 10 Strelets in queue at this point. But it's just more Hussar from Chusik. It's okay though, you're fighting underneath 2 towns and 2 blockhouses. Blockhouses, as their outposts, have multipliers versus Hussars. Town centers do not. So is he focusing down Hussars? He is. Strelets come out. He's going to micro onto the Minutemen. Yeah, 2, 3. 3 go down. Going to try and pick off a pikeman as well. That pikeman is blocking his own Hussars as well. That's quite nice. And these Strelets just alive that a little bit longer. Try and pick off the pikeman while they're alive. Yeah, he's going to focus the pikeman because there's no point focusing the cavalry at this point. Yeah, and any more these heavy infantry he can pick off is just a win for Lemmings. But still a refusal to train musketeers at this point. Cossack will be very, very, very strong at this point. 5 Cossacks going to come out, and you're probably going to snare this underneath the 2 blockhouses and take this engagement. Yeah, he's going to take this trade. A trade I think is well, Chusik will win it, but it's a trade Russia will be very, very happy to take, and I agree with him here. 4 Cossacks, next card being sent by Lemmings, I fully agree with that as well. You can't not have pressure on the map, and yeah, these outposts getting some great, great damage on Hussars. A couple of skirmishes being produced from Chusik. Looks like Chusik is just not going to even think about trying to age up at this point. Try and play somewhat colonial, and that's probably his first mistake here, is try and play colonial into Russia. It just never works out. It never seems to work out. It may look like it's going alright at the moment. What is Lemmings doing? He's at home. He does have steel traps. He went for the greedier market play. Surely he must have some musks being trained. He will say goodbye to one blockhouse, but that second blockhouse will stay alive. And this blockhouse has picked off so many in terms of... Oh! Forward shipment point. Hussars going down. The skirmishes. The skirmishes are... Oh no! Oh, Chusik. Okay, he does have 5 pucks reinforcing. And just imagine if he times... It went for, let's say, 3 Cossacks there, but they had a batch of musketeers out just to kind of put some pressure on the pikemen as well. Not too bad, but Chusik, he's got the pikemen here. He's got more reinforcing hussars as well. Where are the musketeers, Lemmings? Where are they? Where are they? Strelets coming out, but Strelets onto Hudson. Oh, what is this? What is this? Just musk-hust it. You just musk-hust the combo. Heavy cav, heavy inf. It's what Dutch struggles against, and actually ranged infantry and cavalry, Dutch go, yeah, thank you very much, I'll take this. More pikemen reinforcing from Chusik. Oh, it's not too bad though. I still don't know who's actually better, because you know, the more Russia stays in the second age, and the more they train Vils, and the more Chusik has to make military units and fight under Lemmings' military production. It's just the worse it's getting. And another batch of 5 Cossacks here. A couple Strelets still alive, but once that goes down, you've got skirmishes on their own. 4 more Hussars are coming, but a couple more Strelets out, and it's just too much stuff here for Chusik to deal with. And yeah, although he might win the cavalry fight, you know, all these Strelets do a bit of damage versus cavalry, but every little helps, I guess. Another batch of 4 Cossacks. Lemmings is just flat out not trained Vils at this point. He's fully invested into that military just to try and hold on to this position. And I don't really blame him, because if he loses the aggression against Dutch can just go to that next stage. More Cossacks being trained here, more Hussars being sent forward from Chusik. This is the 3 Hussar shipment, it looks like, but it's 3 Hussars on their own. Now he's pulling back. He realises he just needs more mass, and Lemmings' refusal to train any musketeers continues. Nice little bit of bank walling, using some of the trees as well to block off. Just imagine, cavalry unit running this way, thinks there's an opening, gets to this point and thinking, oh no, I can't get through, I have to move back around. Quite funny. There is a rule which all players agree to when they sign up to the tournament, and that's if they read the rules or not. Building rotation is, let's say, politely frowned upon, to say the least. And I think Japan and Dutch are the prime users of, you know, how they can get an advantage out of this. But you know, these games have happened in the past, so not much I can do for the time being. But Strelets, well, not Strelets, settlers. There's so many settlers here. They could be called Strelets at this point, but now it's Pike Huss versus Cossack Strelet. The Strelets, if they micro onto the pikemen, will do very well. But there's still enough Hussars here to deal with the Cossacks, I feel. A couple of Vils getting into hand combat as well. Very, very nice addition here. But I think there's just... Again, it's just, we're talking about trading. It's enough of a trade for it to be slightly in Russia favour. Chusik think he'll be alright here because he's picked the cavalry units, but he's just got nothing for his Strelets, and these Hussars go down about 3 volleys from all these units. Lemmings sending Boyars now, so even stronger. Is that another batch of Cossacks? Yeah, another batch of 4 upgraded Cossacks now. That's a nice addition. Chusik's thinking, yes, I got 5 Hussars here. I'm feeling to be good to push out and pick up all those Strelets. But once he sees these Cossacks, it's like, oh, no, I've got to back off. But he needs to be out aggressive now to protect his Vils. And actually, if Chusik can't defend these Vils, it's going to be lights out here for the Dutch player. We're at that kind of critical point of the game. Chusik's pulled back onto the wood. He knows he wants to try and keep these Vils as long as possible, but it needs to a point where you probably have to fight the Vils, and that means getting your great coats, That means getting your blunderbuss. That means taking your settlers to the arsenal and upgrade them and prepare them for combat. That Russian army is incoming, and these guys, they don't take any prisoners. They will kill any settlers they see on sight. A nice forward blockhouse there from Lemons. Breaking my flow of speech, but in terms of a play, that's quite nice. It would be much stronger if that blockhouse was on that far left-hand side, just to kind of get that real contain in terms of line of sight specifically from Lemon's point of view. See that line of sight? Got a blockhouse here, just gets to see everything. More hussars coming out from Chusik, but there's enough Cossacks here. Still no musketeers. I don't think we'll see any musketeers this game. I think Lemons is committed too much to the upgrade strats, upgrade Cossacks to see any musketeers, but Cossacks take in again a fine trade. More these trades just go into Russia's favour. If anything, I think the local military strength slightly in Chusik's, very slightly in Chusik's favour, but the blockhouse and the reinforcements just help out. Team cavalry scouts coming in for a Russia play at this point. Let's look at Chusik, reinforcing another batch of hussars with the 700 food. Gets a full batch of 5 hussars actually, even before the food's been sent. Those hussars have somehow deleted themselves off the map. They never spawned. And it looks like Chusik has resigned. Lemon's taking it 1-all. But as Chusik lost the game, I'm sure this will be very forgotten about very quickly. Right. Village accounts. Decent progression for Lemons, but there's a point between the 8-minute and 11-12 minute where Lemons was really under pressure from Dutch player, pushing out with pikemen, hussars, a couple of skirms, but skirmishes weren't really useful this game. Maybe that's why Lemons didn't make any musketeers, because he realised Dutch can go skirms. But a couple of musks would have been nice in places. Military population. Chusik pushing out, getting a good engagement actually. Lemons overcommitted with those 20 strelets, 5 hussars into the Minutemen, 8 pikes and about 8 hussars. Might have been 9, around that number. Had to retreat to the blockhouse, but fighting under the blockhouse for about good 4 minutes, 3 minutes, just whittled away at Dutch's forces and Dutch's reinforcements as well. And it did pick off Lemon's reinforcements as they appeared, but those outposts with their multiplier versus hussars just worked wonders in this case. More strelets, more Cossacks, and then just got the contain on. And eventually, Chusik just couldn't gather food. We may see a couple blips where the vills are moving across a bit, and towards the end just bumped off the food for a tiny bit. And that just directly affects the amount of the units the Dutch player can pump out at that point. So yeah, understand the resignation at that point. And we'll move on to the next game. Yeah, guys, the game speed is due to this being a recorded game. Recorded games on Age of Empires 3 are unfortunately rather tediously slow. I will try and speed through them, add a few fast speed sections just to make sure these games go a little bit faster. But it is what it is. So Lemons won that last game. Chusik now can pick his home map from Tuparo, Adirondacks, and Lumarco. And judging by this spawn location, it's Lumarco. So here we see Chusik spawning into the west of the map in the coloured teal, playing as the German civilization. Would create start, but it actually looks like, because it's Lumarco, get that bonus wood as well. So Germans with a 300 wood start. You've heard it here, folks. Germany 300 wood start, and because Chusik won. Chusik lost last game, so he was able to counterpick and start to go for the Germans here. Lemons won. No. Oh, I'm getting so confused. Lemons won last game, so this is Chusik's home pool. Lemons picked first. Lemons picked the Chinese civilization on Lumarco, and Chusik counterpicked with the Germans. But again, a great start here for Chusik. Is also a good start here for. Also a good start for Lemons. Chinese player, 400 would start, so early training post, early village with no chopping wood as well, so both players off to a cracking start. I'm expecting the German players age up with 16 vills here, and the 16 vill population and Lemons aging up maybe even 14 vills if you're lucky. 15 with continuous villager production. The goats nearby as well to aid gathering as well. This is Lou Marco, both players having 2 hunts nearby. That extra would create as well, and quite a lot of coin. I think this was reworked to kind of move this coin mine from a central position here to either side the cliff as an extra hunt here to fight over. And there are some cute islands with a bit of resources on. Yeah, it would create on both, but I don't think we often see water play on Lou Marco. Chusik seeing 45 food. Lemon's just scouting around. Nearby treasures are 40 coin. Some experience points there, 40 XP. Has he walked past that settler treasure? He has, but it is 4 black bears. It's quite a bit of a committal to take. Some low tier treasures. Ink and Huaminka. I think. Oh yeah, we're still on EP8. Yeah, no, Ink and Huaminkas are still strong on EP8. So we'll look at Chusik. Well, he hasn't actually seen much because he doesn't have that second scouting unit. So that is why we have the discrepancy between that scouting information between Chusik and Lemons. Let's take the Fog of War off and let's see how the game progresses. Lemons just hunting down his German explorer and gets the snare off. And I think Chusik just has to run to the town centre here. He can't engage this. The Age 1 Chinese explorer is just so much stronger. He tries to run through some guanacos just to kind of get the block from the those hunts there. Nice cute play, but he has to run back. But actually the thing about Germans is, well, they don't like gathering into the town centre. And oh, this is such awkward play from Chusik. He's just focused so much on this explorer control, but the Age 1 hunt control a little bit sloppy here. Shooting your first hunt quite far away from that town centre, bit awkward. I assume, if I go into the Fog of War, I assume Chusik does see this second hunt to the south, which he can also herd in. A couple of guanacos walking away, but he knows his next 2 hunts are here, and he's gonna run out of food before clicking up. Oh no, he's just lucky. He is so lucky. He's so lucky he doesn't know what to do himself. But he's still aging up with the 17 vills here. And when you haven't had to chop a single bit of wood. And Chusik also got 50 food and 45 food. Where has all that food gone? I feel Chusik should be up at 16 villagers there, but it doesn't matter. He's up, and that's all that matters. Shipment sent 223 for the settler wagons, 154 for the 2 vills, and because he had that village down early due to the fact not having to chop any wood, you could send that shipment as soon as he got it without having to worry about that village not being up. Chinese Age 1 macro is pretty difficult, but when you have this extra wood for the 400 wood crate start on Lou Marco, this actually makes it rather easy. Lemon's aging up with the Summer Palace, only putting 3 vills in because I think Lemon's just feels that this early age up he can just have 1 extra vill chopping. But this is interesting. Chopping during transition. Already starting to deviate from a standard fast fortress build. Has Lemons got any other ideas what he wants to do in the second age? Checking by his deck. He does have 8 cards. Yeah, 3 crates, 3 unit shipments, export, and then the rattan shields. I don't know if he's chopping for a second trading post at this point. It would make sense because you've had such a good Age 1 start. You can afford to, go for this extra economic play, as I can say. But the difference between 1 TP to 2 TP is not mega significant. Yeah, he's going that way. He's just getting out of that town centre range, and he wants to go for it now. He's going to go for the Ink and Huaminka. Maybe Chusik crackshot 1 already, but soon Lemons will be in the second age and it'll be an easy fight. But even still, in Age 1, 2 black bears are not actually that scary for China. Right, Chusik stack quickly. Standard deck does have 3 doppels in Age 2. Bit of a colonial focus compared to other decks you may see from Germany. It's the most standard rack of cards in the 3rd age as you'd ever see. But what is Lemons going to do with that wood? That's the one thing I'm really curious to see. He's spent quite a lot on this wall. Hasn't deleted the pillars here. I think he wants to play safe. But you could save yourself 20 wood by doing that. And that 20 wood could be used to build that TP a little bit earlier. He has the 200 wood now. Is he going for a mark in transition? Be a bit late for that. Maybe it's just a second village. Consulate! Lem's going to go consulate, 300 export. But will he go for the Brit consulate, the German, or the Russian? I've seen all three be used in this situation. Right, 300 export, 700 coin. I think Lemmings is using the fact that he's got this early TP to get the extra experience points and use those heavy infantry that Germany and British provide to give him cover. He does have an Incan already, so there's an argument of, do you actually need this early Brit consulate? And I don't really think he does, but he's going for it. Second village is... No, he's still on the single village, and Lemmings is nearly housed, but I suppose 6 Redcoat Musketeers are a little bit less pop intensive than 9 Chiang pikemen, and that's quite often is the case. I send 9 Chiang pikemen to defend, and I realise I get housed very, very quickly. This wall is stopping these 5 Uhlans, and these 5 Uhlans will take ages to siege through this. And yeah, that must be so annoying if you're Chusik to see that. That must be gutting. Sees this. Oh, got a juicy raid, but there's a Incan Kyominka, there's an OP Chinese monk there, and here come the British Redcoats just to scare these Uhlans away. Coin comes in behind this, and Lemmings is going to very, very safely age the next stage, but it's not a super fast age up though, it has to be said. Chusik himself is going for 3 settler wagons, 700 coin. He needs that 700 coin because he made 5 Uhlans in transition in the second age, but could have also gone for a build like 3 settler wagons, 700 wood, not make any units, and get a very fast FF and have a good build versus what Lemmings done. But Uhlans going for the raid, sees Redcoat Musketeers, and backs off. Chusik aging up fast at this point. No player went for the second training post. I'm a bit surprised by that. On a map where there's 3 TPs, if you take a TP advantage, that's always nice. You already you have spare wood in your build order available because of that extra wood crate early on, so you could use that in your transition to get a second training post. But you see how Lemmings use that to get that early consulate down. Now that the 700 woods coming from Lemmings, he's going for the War Academy, another village, 3rd village. So 2 villages, a barracks. Has 100 left over, so could go for market. And if you're going for Porcelain Tower, yes, you want that market down now and start researching techs as soon as that wood comes in from the tower. But yeah, Porcelain Tower age up. Old Han army out already. Couple redcoats. That's a nice play for Lemmings. Colonial Uhlans. Yeah, to be honest, Chusik, he's going to try and move in for a raid here, but he's going to get absolutely zilch done. It is versus China. China have villages. And Lemmings is good enough of a player to gather near his villages, so I'm not expecting to see any vills going down at this point. And Chusik, if he loses Colonial Uhlans, well, they will soon be veteran, and it's just such a sad sight to see all his resources go down. Here comes the Incan Kyominka, get a nice swing off, counts as a move, and both players are... Chusik is scared of a single pikeman. That is how strong that pikeman is, or you could say how weak these Colonial Uhlans are. Take your pick. He has rebuilt the wall, that's quite nice. Mark it down forwards, just extra line of sight on that front side in case that wall goes down. And yeah, first shipment for Lemmings, 5 meteor hammers. He's still on the old Han army from the Summer Palace. Now he's just changed it to territorial, but he's missed out on about 30 seconds of research time there. Not the biggest issue. War Academy, not yet training a single batch yet. He's just getting his market techs, and yeah, it's one of those things in China, they don't actually need a War Academy as soon as they age up, because they can't really afford to make anything if they're going for Marketects behind this. Porcelain Tower on wood, and he's just cycling through the Marketects at this point. You might even go for Imperial Bureaucracy as second upgrade, which is very greedy, but I think he can get away with it. He's going for Spirit Medicine first. I probably wouldn't get that in so early, but he's now queuing up. Yeah, he's now queuing up Imperial Bureaucracy. Okay, he's decancelled it to get a batch of units in queue, but he will go for the IB upgrade very, very soon afterwards. Chusik, War Wagons being in production, looking at his deck, see what he's shipped so far, sending 1k wood, just sent 1k wood. So yeah, Chusik just making use of that extra time he knows he has available, not pushing in super early, which is a problem I often do. Feel that you're on a timer, but he's just going to send in 1k wood. That's extra houses, that's amalgamation likely, veteran Uhlans, forward barracks, maybe go for a second barracks, could even go second stable possibly as Germany. Just have one making war wagons, one making Uhlans, but 3 production facilities are quite a nice idea. Chusik's still got another 400 wood available. He sieged the train post, could go for second TP stagecoach for extra eco instead of going for a town centre. You know, all options available for Chusik at the moment. He's just biding his time and going to spend the wood how he likes. Chances are he's going to build another 4 houses and just continuously spam units. That seems to work for Germany. Seems to work for such a long time, and will continue to do so. So first unit shipment, 8 skirmishes for Chusik. It's kind of like the 3 war wagons actually. Just get that range cavalry advantage, so that way you're not going to get snared by meteor hammers, or you can start poking away at a couple of these Changdao redcoats. Meteor hammer raid coming in actually, and I don't know how Lemons thought about that. Definitely ran in, saw the coin miners, but has now backed off out of it and gone back through the gates. Unsure if Lemons wanted to take that fight, maybe thinking, oh, it would be a bit silly to lose all my meteor hammers to German Uhlans. He's going to go back in, he's going to go back out, in, out, in, out. You shake it all about, you do the hokey cokey, and you turn around. That's what it's all about. It's a random disco song everyone used to play when you like back in first school. Maybe it's a song you guys, if you're European, learnt just to learn a bit of English. It's a bit of a fun song, that is. Anyway, 8 skirms. Here comes the veterancy Uhlans. I'm expecting a push afterwards. Chusik's going to slow march in. Doesn't want to overcommit. Doesn't want to be forced. Actually, we'll see its exposed village, and I'm sure this is Chusik be thinking, yes, I want to take this. Okay, here's that second Trojan post. If I go to Chusik, do you spend that extra second batch of 200 wood on it? No. So he spent that 400 wood on a second TP and veterans Uhlan, but he now needs houses. So, bit of a problem Chusik's in under already. Is not actually any vills on wood cutting yet, so he's currently buying his wood, which is fine for the time being, but soon will get a bit problematic. The classic thing to do is just sell like 2 clicks of food, buy 2 clicks of wood, buy 2 houses, and rinse and repeat 5 times into the end of the game. At some point though, he's going to research gang saw and then put maybe 2 or 3 settler wagons on the trees or the equivalent of villagers, because at some point the coin mines become a bit too valuable to spend on population. 9 Uhlans coming in, but here's the raiding of the 5 meteor hammers. He's seen the coin mine, and actually, has Chusik seen that? How far is that line of sight? He must have seen it coming just quite late, but he's already there. And Lemons is running away. Would he get caught? If he's already seen it, I don't think he will. He just turned 1 meteor hammer away. He can engage from his ranged snare and actually snare the entire bunch. Hashtag ranged snare. AoE3 DE confirmed. Get the ranged snare Inkambolas memes going. Right, Sable, train more Uhlans, skirmishers, train more barracks, train more skirmishers. If you're being real brave, you could go for a batch of 5 dops. Would be quite nice. Just to mix in with this likely quite a lot of his hand infantry would charge in as well. So you know, dops will make a very nice meat shield in front of the Changdaos. There's enough arquebusiers here to focus those dops down, but you feel that you just don't have enough skirmishers to deal with all this from China. I think that right click is going to happen soon, but the military population is in favour of Germany. Overinflated to use veteran Uhlans, but with only 5 war wagons here, I think this is probably a bit too many veteran Uhlans here for this combination of what to do versus this predominantly skirm pike army. Minutemen being called from Lemons. Let's have a quick look at Lemons to see what his defensive abilities are. Chusik's not sending the shipment just yet. Lemons sending 1 brick consulate musketeer batch. He has moved forward with his explorer, but if this goes down for that main fight, that's going to be such a shame to lose that before the big fight happens. Musketeers about to come onto the field, not actually trained the batch of units, currently housed. Will need to go into the village, upgrade the village to the next tech. He's got the first tech, so maybe build a second village, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time to build a village, so actually might want to go for the research. Skirmishers prodding forwards, not seeing any villagers. All the villagers are down behind the base, but will soon run out of resources. And yeah, if you see these arquebusiers, I think it's Chusik. You just basically run. You've got this trading post line. You could go to stagecoach, but he's not doing that so far. He's housed once again. No vills on wood once again. And he's buying his houses once again. But soon you just run out of coin. This coin mine is now out. It should go on the UI. Yeah, he's gonna move on to another coin mine. He does have 2 more coin mines readily available, not included in this one. He's already chomping through. Cavalry Combat, next card. Oh, I like that card from Chusik. That's very smart. Other options could be going for Hessian Jaegers, I feel. Hessian Jaegers, if you're gonna cut production for a bit and go purely into coin. But Cav Combat with all these Uhlans and war wagons makes sense. But it feels like you have a little bit more units than what you have. He's going to get another 3 war wagons out, but no more than 3 at the moment. So he just doesn't have the resources to make many more. And the game progresses. Right, looks like Chusik wants to push in now with that Cav Combat. Lemmings sent in Territorial Army Combat, so this is basically this entire composition here. The Changdao and the Skirmishes will get 15% attack and HP. In this case, I like that he's gone for Territorial Army Combat instead of Repelling Volley. Not too many war wagons, but you really need to buff those Changdao in the face of all these Uhlans. I think Chusik's got a control group for just the cavalry, control group for skirmishers. So he's actually controlling the war wagons and the skirmishers together. By pulling back the Uhlans though, he sends the war wagons into the pikemen. Not a fan of this 2-unit control group here. Doesn't really work out in this sense. The skirmishers are now engaged by the monk. Monk goes back down, and yeah, it's not. It's what you see. It's happening again. By retreating with those 2 units, the war wagons get sent closer to the arquebusiers, and that's just a juicy target for a arquebusier Z move. Military effect population is in favour of Chusik here. People say that China's broken, but I really don't see it. I really just don't see it, and looks like Lems is still going for territorial armies. They want to go for a cav batch soon, get that snare of the meteor hammers, but he's actually been using a couple of these meteor hammers to defend from raids. Redcoat's not in the fight, that's a shame. But China's very hard to organise the entire army correctly. But here come the veteran Uhlans, they're still there and they're just menacing. Just taunting Lemmings. Hey, I've got this very scary cavalry force. Send your pikemen forwards into my skirmishers if you want to beat the cavalry, but Lemmings is just backing off. Look at these resources. He's got so many resources, but he's lost both his war academies. He can't produce another territorial army batch, and he's just got too much eco now to sustain from one barracks, and just needs to go for more production at this point. And this needs to happen. Chusik going for more production himself, going for a second Rax. I like this. Looks like he's going to go for a. Oh, he's getting steel traps. The 15-minute steel traps, the clutch. Oh my god. How did I not notice that? Lol, it's quite funny. Iron Troop for Lemmings and. Oh, why are you going Iron Troop instead of Manchu? Why are you doing this to me? Why? You've seen that you're winning the skirmisher fight, but you're struggling versus the war wagons and Uhlans. You think you have enough anti-cav, but AoE3 skirmishers are very good at picking these units off. I may be completely wrong, and Iron Trooper super OP, but in this composition I feel that Manchu is what you need in that back line just to protect for when these Uhlans do smash in. Because another thing Chusik could do at the moment or soon is start chopping wood with his vills, get gang saw. I'm not too sure Chusik's going to get his gang saw. We can take bets in the chat if Chusik gets gang saw, but you could go for an arsenal at some point and go for the cavalry cuirass. 300 gold for just 10% HP, but when you have so many Uhlans, it is so strong. I mean, it's basically having RE Uhlans again. I mean, you realise how strong that unit was back in the base game. Let's push us forward. Batch of 9 Uhlans, 9 skirmishers being sent forward by Chusik. That the timing for going. Oh, it's cavalry. Cavalry HP. That's okay. For some reason, I thought that's just hand cavalry HP, but it's the hand cav attack. But this does buff war wagons. That's nice to know. Right, skirmishers are, well, they see this line of arquebusiers and the iron troops, and they're thinking, nope, I gotta get out of here, move back. But, but is it because he's got enough Changdaos here? But Chusik can't re-engage with his Ulans. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about doing it, but he's not going to just yet. It would be quite funny if Chusik replied with 12 Jaegers, and we see 9 iron troops versus 12 Jaegers. But with enough skirmishes, I think Chusik and his European eco should be alright, but... Ooh, it's getting close. I think if this was Manchu, though, he could be just continuously pushing forward and forcing the fight. Ulan's coming in, but Changdao nearby. The skirmishes will trade off again. But actually quite a lot of these iron troops in the front line actually taking a lot of damage quite nicely. War wagons on that cavalry control group will focus down the heavy infantry, but actually that's good use. They're not getting focused down with the range infantry. Looks like Ulans are going to commit, but they're going to back out. He's undecided if he's in or he's out. Just like UK is with Brexit, whether in or out. But just like Brexit here, there's going to be no winners. This is going to be a bloodbath, and I think that fight's going to happen. These Ulans are too snared, too engaged, but they're backing off. The thing is, Ulans are going down, but they haven't really done much damage. That's the problem. He's now committing now, and oh no, Germany. Oh, Germany is going wrong. Ulan's just caught by the Changdaos. Redcoat's firing behind. And actually, I have to take it back. Those iron troops have done some miraculous work so far. And looking at that unit count, he does have 6 left. So he did lose 3, but it's still 6 iron troop left. That skirmisher advantage is now strongly in favour of the Chinese player. Now sending 11 Changdaos behind this. Yeah, he's just going to push out, put pressure on the barracks. Chusik will be back to his single stable, but he can't really go Ulans at this point because they've already melted. And Chusik he had Cav combat, Cav HP, but could have gone cannons maybe with all these coin mines. Did go, you know, heavy on the skirmishers, and yeah, Chusik had the timing. He had the timing, but it just fell apart in front of his eyes. The game's over. It looks like Chusik has resigned, so Lemon's going to take the 2-1 at this point, and that was just brutal. Right, let's have a look again. Villager counts. Oh, villager populations. We're playing as Germany. Yeah, decent. Oh, military unit population. I was wondering, like, wow, look at this massive Ville raise. Where did this happen? No, that's military population. Villager population. Yeah, decent lead there for Chusik, but obviously got the H2 Chinese Wonder making units and the H3 Porcelain Tower. You could actually say at this point the Chinese eco is slightly better than Germany early H3. As the game goes on, it starts to pull out in favour of Germany due to the lack of investment from Lemmings. It's hard to see that those techs completed in the end from the Chinese villas, but I think they got Imperial Bureaucracy. He certainly got the base tier 1s. Chusik got that all-important 15-minute steel trap. Nice to see. No amalgamation on that 1k wood. That could have also been quite nice. Military population. Yeah, Chusik had a lead and could have sent something like 12 Jaegers at one point, but decided to send Cav Combat, 10 skirmishers, and will make 10 skirmishers. Also a decent decision. But after the Cav Combat sent Cav HP, just didn't have that ranged infantry advantage over Lemons when he sent those iron troops, and that was basically the basis of why that fight failed. And quite a lot of those cavalry units of the Uhlans were getting picked off even before that fight really started. And once Germany started that fight, like, and committed with the cavalry, and the cavalry was pretty much half gone or half depleted already. It was just one-way traffic at that point, and then the game was over. Right, GG. So, game 4. Lemons won the last game. So it's Chusik to pick a home map. Tuparo, Adirondacks, Lumarco are his options. And we are spawning on what appears to be Adirondacks. As Lemons won the last game, Chusik picks the map. It's Lemons to pick the civilization. And it's quite hard to work this out on the recorded games. Lemons has picked the Iroquois civilization. Chusik has counter-picked as the Ottomans. I know Chusik plays Ottoman to a decent level. he actually defeated Iron Turks Japan in the first round of this tournament, of the upper bracket, shall I say, the qualifiers. But Chusik was then moved down to the lower bracket, where we see him now in the semi-finals. So Chusik's Ottoman is to be feared, to say the least. Also going for that middle trading post. Nice for the map control. Not so nice for the trade traveler first pass. And as Ottoman, and this early in this game, I think going for that middle TP will slow down his first age shipment quite significantly, maybe about 10 seconds, 10 15 seconds. I think Ottoman are pretty much guaranteed getting that middle trading post in transition as well. Right, so okay, Chusik, it was just the 300 wood crate start, so trading post, house, no mosque at this point. Lemons, well, he doesn't have any wood regardless, so it's quite hard for Lemons to do anything specific. He's moving around with his Discovery Travois, trying to scout the map. If we take off the fog of war on Lemons, we can see what he's scouted with that Travois. He does see the barracks, the trading post in the middle. Scouts Cup is next, is second, and his second and third hunt, and that Travois is going to build a longhouse back at home. No point having that on the field when you know his janitor is around. 95 wood though, nice treasure for Lemons. Let's see how Chusik's going on, and let's see the game move on. So Chusik picking up 75 food. Lemons 95 wood, walks past 3 stray sheep. If Lemons has another could convert a second outlaw rifleman and then go for the 3 sheep and then hunt down Chusik's explorer. But I think that's what Lemons wants to do now, is just hunting down, looking at the explorer. I think that, yeah, he's now in ranged attack. He was in melee attack. Outlaw riflemen are somewhat in range of explorers now, so you've got to be very careful how you micro that. Only having that 15 ranged distance. Still high damage though. But Chusik, if he does have a crack shot, could go for the crack shot. Otherwise, could just try and focus it down with regular ranged fire. But oh no, he doesn't, because he crack shots with the black bear. Lemons is going to come back in. Would he convert it? I guess you can convert a black bear just to ensure the treasure pickup here. But yeah, he's going to convert it because that outlaw rifleman's going elsewhere, and we'll see that convert coming very, very soon. First shipment, Chusik, 210. Slow shipment for Ottoman there, as I said, due to that middle train post. 3 vills behind for Lemons, and text being researched. The governor age up for Chusik, so the 200 coin outpost wagon. No 400 wood this time. Era army's moving to the right hand side, does see the native scout, doesn't think too much of it. Sees the Cherokee rifle. He has convertibility, he may come back for that, but he doesn't have it just yet. I suppose at this point, might just go for the wolf treasure because it's easy to take and get an extra bit of food. Ottoman explorer nearby, trying to scout out what's going on for Lemons. But both players advanced at this point, and actually, it is Lemons aging up with the wise woman, Chusik aging up with the governor. Not bad age up time here for Lemons, actually, has to be said. Crates at home. Warhut Travois like to be put at home as well. Chusik's explorer viewing his next holiday destination, checking if his speech is worth a nice visit after he defeats the Iroquois. Maybe he wants to celebrate his victory by going to the seaside. But no, back to the battlefield he comes. And let's see what first shipment is. 700 coin for Chusik. 700 coin is just going to be the standard tower fast fortress. But where's this tower going? I don't think he wants to put it too far, especially when you're against Ottoman. No, against Iro, shall I say. You know, a free war hut can train tomahawks, send tomahawks, and reach the tomahawk big button for very, very quick access to siege. That tower's going south, and it's actually going to get scouted here by the black bear. Oh no, it's not, because black bear's very, very low line of sight. He's trying his best just to scout where a tower may come. Doesn't actually know if it is. Lemons does see the Ville, but he sees it's on herding duty. Sees the town centre, so he's trying to see if it's wood crates, coin crates. Sees no crates. He's here a bit late though for that wisdom and knowledge. The explorer coming down to the south side, scouting out extra hunts and mine of Chusik for potential raiding opportunities later. Still doesn't see the outpost wagon. I don't know where it's gone. Where has it gone? It's done the fast one and gone back. Yeah, it's gone back. Went forward, but realised had no point. It's gone back. Has Lemons scouted that? No, he hasn't. He hasn't scouted defensive outpost. Lemons will be a bit confused where it is and where it's gone. Send in 5 vills first. Send in 5 vills against an Ottoman player you don't know what crates they've aged up with. You don't see a tower. I guess it's going to work out in this case, but I don't know about that. It does seem to be a bit of a risky play. Market coming down, not really training any sort of units at this point. Just has to pray that Chusik's not doing some sort of 2 racks cheese from the north. Right, let's skip on through. Chusik aging up now, aging up with the scout. Oh, Lemons forgetting the treasure. We've all done that. 93 getting picked up here. Maybe Lemons was anticipating the lag, but actually was a bit too fast there and pulled back. That trading post is still standing though, and it feels strange that an Ottoman trading post in the middle of the map is still allowed to stay standing. And something which Lemons could pick off with a Tomahawk big button. Extra bit of siege there, maybe force a reaction. Wiseman crates coming in at the right time, focusing the coin and the food. Could sell the extra food at the market for an extra burst of coin to age up behind this. Does have 1 villain queue, and will probably be aging up with the messenger politician behind this. But you know, Chusik is nearly up with 4 hussars, 4 barracks. That classic Ottoman playstyle is gonna happen, and that's gonna hit the Iroquois town centre very, very soon. And here comes the wall. Double wall. Nice. Nice play here from Lemons. Double wall. But will it be enough? 5 Jans already on the way. And there's the 4 hussars into the base. Vill's having to garrison in the war hut. That's the problem of having a forward coin mine. It's easily raidable. A couple of villas in the trees. The AI thinks it's helping you by spreading the villas out, but you specifically ask them to chop from 1 or 2 trees at a maximum. So the AI there is helping Chusik. Biased AI. And another vill forward. Might be in a rally point there. Really awkward to see. So yeah, looking at units lost in total. I think about 3 vills maybe went down there. Oh, 4 vills. Nice pick up there from Chusik. And he's just going to back off and wait for reinforcements. No need to overcommit. And that's what he's going to do. Just make 5 Jan. Send 8 Jan. Expect veteran Janissary in at some point. And then Falconets coming afterwards. Let's look at Chusik. Is he going for it? Yep. There's his Falconets. Does he have the wood? He does have the wood and the coin. Vet Jan, in it comes. And that timing is going to happen after that next batch of 5 Jans. Which is actually a bit awkward. It's an awkwardly long pause until Chusik's going to push back in again. Will Lemons have enough defensive forces? It's got to somehow deal with those Falconets while, you know, picking off the Janissaries. That's a bit difficult. Goes to the Musket Riders. They do have a decent multiplier versus artillery, and that could be Lemons' answer, because it also does pretty well versus the potential cav switch that Chusik could pull with the Spahis or Mamelukes. Either or could be very damaging to an ill-prepared defending opponent. But looking at Lemons' point of view, the fog of war, he sees the Jans, he sees the Hussars, he feels the pressure, thinking, oh, I should probably go for more Forest Prowlers here than Musket Riders. So yeah, a batch of 1 Musket Rider there. That's okay though, he does have a batch of 5 from the shipments, and going to start poking away with the Forest Prowlers. Can't complete the wall though, because of the forces nearby. Sees these vet Janissaries, and these guys, they just tank so much damage. Aero Warchief may want to crack shot this, but Chusik's just going to right click already. Who needs Falconets? Especially when you see an army of that size already. He's just going to march in. Are those Falconets coming? They're coming across the map. They're on guard at the moment, but Lemons doesn't really notice. He can't try and spare forces to move out to go get it. Lemons putting all vills on coin because he can't hunt at this moment. Chusik just right underneath these Musket Riders, and these are the units which could pick off the Falconet, but not anymore. He's right-clicking 1 vill at a time, 2 vills at a time. Yeah, 2 vills going down there. He's putting these vills into the town centre. That's 3, 4, 5. It's going to go down. It's pretty brutal. He's trying to reach from distance. Okay, here's the Tomahawk scouting party, but had to get research after the Ville completed. You almost feel he wants to target the Forest Prowlers, but he has no time. He needs to do it now. But he's going to try and get onto the Falconets, but the Janissaries are really close. Oh, he sends it from the War Hut. I like it, but don't like it at the same time. Yeah, I suppose you need to wait for the Forest Prowlers, but that was the opportunity to get onto the Falconets there and then by just instantly spawning on top of the Janissaries. But Janissaries going to sit around War Hut and Town Centre, fire onto the Falconet. Looks like Musket Rider's going for a flank left side. One Tomahawk sneaking through the woods. Will he get seen? Oh yes, he does get seen. Good night indeed. More Janissaries from Chusik coming in, reinforcement from the south. Has to go around the wall, but Musket Rider's right side. Skirmishes, Ville pop, Ville going to punch down the Falconet. Oh, the Janissaries, they're not on top of the Falconets. Oh, this is a 360 surround here from Lemmings, and that is how you take down the Falconets. Is you use the villagers for the Falconets. He doesn't have Spirit Medicine, but he doesn't need it here. These guys 10-hand attack. That Falconet's going down. It's brutal, but he's paid with so many villagers have gone down, and so many, a couple more may go down. He's only got 9 vills remaining, and he still has the Janissaries. That was such a good defense from Lemmings, but damn. Chusik's just going to back off. He's going to look at the score, and he's going to think my job is nearly done. I just need to close this game off at some point. Units lost 19 vills. 9 vills. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say is wow. But how do you make units with 9 Vil eco? You can't even make Vils, and it's probably not even right to make Vils at this point. And at this point, the more you sit in the base, the worse it's going to get. And your Lemmings, you're probably waiting for a shipment, and from that shipment, send something like maybe 6 Canyers, pray and push out. But ideally, this is probably the time to push out, and it feels, well, it feels wrong to push out now, but there's no, the longer you leave it, it's probably the worse it's going to get. Chusik though, he's going for the coin. Looks like he sent 1k coin. He's gathering that coin up with 3 vills. Has a shipment ready to go. It's just going to be the Mamluks, and there's no way Lemmings can deal with Mamluks. Looking at Lemmings' deck, he doesn't even have 9 Tomahawks in deck. He has the standard deck, but versus Ottoman, can you really afford to have agrarian raids in your deck? Farm and plantation upgrades now for free, but doesn't matter if you get free upgrades if your towns are burning rubble by 12 minutes. You just see he's just playing defensive. He's building the wall up, but okay, he's now training a couple of vills and getting that eco going again, but he's not making military units, sending Canyers, trying to go for a hero raid as they call it. Maybe it's a Give Anxiety raid, sends all your units at one point and just hope for a miracle. But Mameluke's coming in for Chusik. He doesn't really know where he's hunting. Sees one dead animal, but nope, herding. He's going all the way back. Yeah, the Ville's being pulled back. Chusik knows where they are, and at that point he's just going to right-click with all his Janissaries. Oh, there's so many units here. So many units. Forest Prowlers will be thinking, yep, this is nice. I get some range attack behind the wall. Nice and safe. Good play here, but that wall is down. And the Mamluke's been positioned in a way they can't be seen until it's too late. And once the Mamluke's come in, he's just going to see these Mams come in thinking, oh my god, how do I deal with this? 1400 HP worth of unit. 1450. He's going to run through a couple of walls which aren't complete. Oh, he's just going to siege the town centre while he's at it. What a smart move. That town centre is pretty much dead anyway. He's going to split onto the villas before it goes down because there's something else in the town centre. Mam's going to finish in the town centre. He's just going to siege the war hut. Why chase Forest Prowlers when make the Forest Prowlers come to you? And that's what he's going to do. Siege the war hut with all the villas in. Mam's going to turn around onto the Forest Prowlers, and the Mams are going to be the ones that are going to scare the Forest Prowlers away. The cavalry's coming back in though. But those villagers are there's plus 10s already, and that military is now committing, so you have to fight. But yeah, that's the other way to win the fight, is just kill all the vills at this point. Kanya's having to fight to protect the vills, but yeah, no, he's having to leave his Forest Prowlers at the mercy of the Mamluks, and the cavalry will get beat down by the Vet Janissaries. So yeah, Chusik 2-all, quick auto gain that is. Ottoman, good civ confirmed. If I felt really, really easy for Chusik. I don't know about you guys, but if I felt like Chusik just played the standard build order. Lemons, well, aged up behind quite nicely. 5-0, all crates, decent time, but just got rolled over very easily there. Could Lemons have taken down Chusik's TP? It's been up the entire game in mid-map. Quite lucky there for Chusik to have that XP income all the way through, and in the end, that XP income as well allowed him to go for the 1,000 coin into Mameluke shipment, and that was a nice kind of card combination there. The 8 Jan, 2,000 coin, then sends in the 4 Mamelukes. Yeah, GG. Let's move on to the next one. So, recorded game number 5. I will do that after a quick break. When I say quick break, I mean quick drink break. And today's stream is sponsored by St. Austell Brewery's Tribute Cornwall's Pale Ale. Very nice. Let's see what you guys are up to in the chat. I'm just waiting to see all the Otto. I've just scrolled up so high. I'm still on the China game. Chen, the same as China's still broken, and that game I felt Chusik had ways to win that China game as Germany, but that's what it was. Yep, this is the lower bracket, so these are the players who got knocked out early in the upper bracket, or players who only qualified and seeded into the lower bracket duke it out. But you know, at the start of the tournament, there's captains, there's majors, possibly a couple first lieutenants here and there, but as the rounds go by, we end up with lieutenant colonels and colonels in the semi-finals, so it's certainly still a strong showing in the lower bracket. Gibson saying, if you consider a major and a lieutenant colonel to be beginners, then yes, this is the beginner tourney. Oh yeah, no, yeah, Lemons is major and Chusik's lieutenant colonel. I was rating these guys lieutenant colonel and colonel. I've been so polite there, but no. They are so noob. They're one rank down from each other, major and lieutenant colonel. Dark Black saying it's more exciting to watch these games than top level gameplay. I'm with you on that one. I find these more fun than watching a very, very formal, very well executed Samwise Kaiser Klein. And at the end of the series, if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it. But one player goes, "Oh, GG's, we both played like absolute dog poo." And he's thinking, why do you need to say that? It looked to be pretty good from our side, but if your players both saying, "Oh, I play poor, and my opponent definitely played poor," I'm not a fan when people say stuff like that. I think you take the TP down and then go full musket rider. If you're a Sue, going full rifle rider would be even nicer, but I think that TP standing for so long was just where it went wrong there for Lemons that game. Just nothing to really slow down that momentum. And yes, when Ottoman pulled out that first engagement after killing so many villagers, it's not like Ottoman's low eco was slowing down. The eco was still there, but the shipments were still coming in as a result of the XP gained from the fight and the TP, so just could send those shipments and push on. Speaking of pushing on, we will push on into game number 5. Before we hop in, let's have a quick check. So Chusik had just won that game, so Lemons can pick a map pool from Pampas Sierras to Tuparo and Florida. We have already seen Pampas Sierras from Lemons, so the map's going to be Tuparo or Florida. Let me check my admin Discord if anything's come up now. Nope, nobody's commented anything, so I assume everything is still alright, which is nice. It's always nice when everything's still alright and nothing's gone wrong. Right, back into the game. You're with me now. Game number 5, here we go. Is there 7 games there, or replays just created for not to spoil? No, there are replays created not to spoil, which means they could be 7 games. It can be 5 games, because we're currently 2-all at the moment. So, at the moment, there's a guaranteed 6 games. So it's either 6 or 7, and this is game number 5, so we've still got plenty more action here, which is always nice. So game 5, we are on Tuparo, and as we are on Tuparo, Lemons lost the last game, so he's picked the map. Chusik has picked his civilization. Chusik has picked the Germans. Lemmings has counter-picked with the British. So it's going to be Germans, British for game number 5. Looking at the crate start, just the 100 wood for both players, so no early train post for Chusik. That's such a shame to spawn into a game you don't have enough wood for a training post as Germany. Lemmings, though, going for the 1 manor house. Not going to chop for the 2nd manor house. I think he's just going to try and go out the map and see if he can find any wood treasures nearby him. 35 wood. He's scrolled past a HP treasure. Not really useful. Small XP. Top side. 80 food by alligators. That's quite nice to see. There's 100 food by 2 jaguars really close to Chusik's town centre. Unfortunately, though, Chusik went the wrong way with Explorer and went and explored the south side. 135 coin. I think Chusik's crackshotted one of those jaguars. But yes, that's what the starters offered up with. Chusik's is going to build 1 house in base and just go pure food income. I'm sure Chusik can age up with 16 villagers as Germany here as a result. Lemmings is just going for the 1 manor house. That's just such a shame there for Brit, only having 1 manor house. Just missing out that 2nd vill. Not even having enough resources to go for a market because it wasn't a coin crate, so real low resources for both players. Neither player having this start they really want. Right, Chusik's seen his jaguars, he's crackshot 1, he's going to kite the 2nds. Kind of like to kite the kind of kite the 1st one, then crackshot the 2nd, so you can kind of confirm that treasure. Chusik was lucky that Lemmings was nowhere near. It was close, but it wasn't on the treasure. But I suppose you can afford that luxury on such a large map that Zupara is. We haven't really seen this map being played since the EPL number 2, where it featured very, very heavily. 70 wood by 2 jaguars. That would be actually precisely enough wood for Lemmings to drop another manor house, which I think is what he really wants to go for. But we're aging up now. Is Lemmings going to try and lane the Explorer? No, he's going to go back for the treasure. I think he was just waiting for crackshot to recharge. Yeah, so he's going to shoot 1, crackshot the other, and just tank the treasure. But he wants that wood as soon as possible. Manor house being dropped down that forward. Hunt herding with 2, 3, 4 hunts already. So that's nice herding. Market being thrown down by Lemmings. Not going to make too many manors here. It looks like Germany's made a trading post. Picked up that 135 coin. Market being down by Chusik at home. Still chopping wood. He's going to go for hunting dogs. Look like he's going to go for placer mines and then steel traps afterwards. And we'll then be in the colonial age. Who knows? Maybe I should do a fast tournament and cast all of it at fast speed. Would be a bit of a laugh. Right, Lemmings getting his great coats nice and early. Knows he's playing Germany. Knows there'll be Raid and Ulan out in the field, so that's really nice to see. One of these villas pulled back from this forward manor house already onto the chopping. An outpost being built very defensively here for Lemmings. He's looked into his base. He realizes he has 2 defensive silver mines. All his capybara hunts. The announcement for DE made me realize how some of these hunts look very blocky, but I swear these hunts look nicer than they did in the Facebook pages of look how poor these hunts are. Maybe it's just me having the decent graphics settings on. Graphics card isn't that great, but just having the generic CP graphic settings. You know, these guys aren't that bad. They're just little. They're like guinea pigs, but bigger. It looks like. Chusik market stable house. So 2 houses, stable coming down.
Hello.
He will then have the wood available for steel traps afterwards if he chooses to do so. Was he going to go for the 5th house? Going for the 5th house, no steel traps. Yeah, that works. You need a 5th house as Germany, or should I say a 4th house with 50 population if you're going to make a batch of 5 lands and continue Ville production. That's just one of those, you need to remember that. I kind of forget that and panic buy wood at the market, and when I miss my Ulan batch and just get stuck on 4 Ulans out of 5 and about 40 out of 40 population. But it's just one of those, yeah. You can get the steel traps at a later point. You could chop 25 wood and then buy a batch of wood and then go for the steel traps. So you do lose about 2 50 worth of coin, and had to chop 25 wood to get that steel trap in. So it's a bit of investment, but Chusik will be hunting all that food for the age up. He won't be sending food crates, so it does pay off. And because it's 20%, I think it's one of those you really need to get it in most games. But Chusik has had a habit so far this series of not getting his market upgrades. Maybe this habit will continue. Lemmings though, he's getting his steel traps. No gang saw though, which is a bit disappointing if you're playing British. But he only went for 60 mana population. No Virginia company because he couldn't give the early TP. It's not been too bad. Explorer being annoying, snaring the villagers. Nice play to do when you're Germany. Here come the 5 Uhlans, and let's see how Lemmings defends this one. So Cav moving south side. Will he see any villagers? There was no villagers heard in this tapir hunt. 10 musketeers at home defending, and actually if Chusik moves in, he's going to be regretting that. He does back off, and it's just too much line of sight here for Lemmings and too many musketeers for Chusik to really get anything done. Chusik once again, his German build, 3 settler wagon, 700 coins straight away. Need him to send that 700 coin because he has made those Uhlans. I'm sure he'll go 700 wood afterwards. Okay, splitting 2 off to try and raid from behind. 5 to top side, but looking at Lemmings, it's one of those things that you see a couple of Uhlans going north side. I don't think you actually saw those 2 Uhlans going to the south, but very smart keeping his musketeers here. But you'll see them crossing this line of sight line here, and it's not that hard to miss it. Well, can't really miss it. You see everything around your base. Chusik doing his best to try and raid around the outside of that line of sight, but every time you get a little glimpse of the units, that entire effort of trying to raid outside the line of sight goes, and yeah, 2 Uhlans go in. Sees musks, has to retreat. More musketeers on the other side, defending the other Uhlans. Yeah, nice position here, I gotta say. Doing everything he can to defend the Uhlans raids, not lose a Ville. You could even say at this point, Lemmings, why did you get your greatcoats? You wasted 75 food there because you're defending so well. But actually, Lemmings making 20 musketeers here, now sending 700 coin. I have a feeling that Lemmings is going to play this colonial. Seems to be a lot of units being invested in the second age. Now, musketeer Hussar, 700 coin to complete the Hussar batch. It looks like still mainly gathering the food and just steel traps eco. Doesn't need place mines for the time being because he's sending that coin. He's going to have such a massive timing push into the German player. Chusik aging up now to the next age. Is Chusik sending in wood? No, he doesn't have the shipment. Doesn't have the shipment ready to go.
Aufgabe.
EP8 Germans there for you. He's just scouting out some coin mines, looks like left hand side. Maybe trying to find some random rogue villagers. Coin treasure could just... He could actually cut down these outlaw blowguns with his Uhlans, because they do very pitiful damage in hand attack. I mean, pick this up with a villager, because his explorer's dead. Needs to herd something in. He's gonna herd now, but it's a little late. It looks like. I think that's the last hunt. Okay, there's one more capybara here, but once they finish, they'll be a bit idle. Might have to move on to the coin mine and hunting for the time being. I think Chusik saw lots of military move this direction. Let's take the fog of war and see if that's true. Yeah, look at those musketeers moving across. And Lemmings is pushing out. Chusik up next stage, just sent a shipment, 1k wood, oh no. He's got to cancel it. Once he sees this, he's got to cancel that 1k wood and send war wagons. And this is what Brit does. It just builds up lots of musketeers, hussars, and just right clicks when they can. And it's such a simple play, but it's just so strong. Like, if I'm looking at this, how on earth do you defend this? I don't actually know. He's making 2 war wagons, he's sending 3, that's 5, and that is certainly not enough. The Uhlans, it's hussars and musketeers, they can't really do too much. One settler wagon going down because he didn't have his greatcoats on. But that sable is going to get picked off, and his war wagons take forever to train. Absolutely forever. Doing his best picking up reinforcements, but it just gives Lemmings the green light to siege the stable. And yeah, it's honestly, it could even get to the point that that's possibly game, because what does Germany do here? He has 1 Ville out here, but no wood. Does have a market, so you could sell some of that food and get the coin out to buy the stable. But by the time you build a stable with one villager, to train a batch of war wagons, that's still another minute and a half. You won't have anything left, and I'm just gonna fast play through this because I just don't see it happening. Trying to kite, cause Minutemen, couple of Orlans to snare the Hussars so that the war wagons can break away, but he's only got one war wagon remaining. There's still loads of colonial musketeers, longbows as well. Just nice touch to do with the war wagon from range. Gonna move these into a position, and then yeah, every time these longbows shoot, you just do so much damage. About 27, maybe 27 versus the ranged cav. It's just pretty much dead. All the musketeers are. Minutemen are dead, musketeers can go into the coin miners, that Ville is dead, that war wagon is now going to be dead. 2 more Hussars just to pick up any skirmisher batches. Chusik's training 6 Villes because, well, he's got nothing else to train. He's going to send 9 Uhlans as a desperate attempt here, but 9 Uhlans may just be enough, but you got your entire 24 Ville population eco in your town centre. It's just not looking good, is it? Settler wagons will try evacuate, but Hussars are chasing nearby. Lemons will back out here. Not gonna lie, I thought that game was over at that point. 9 Uhlans do come out. Yeah. Colonial has to be said though. Only colonial Uhlans, and colonial Uhlans are no upgrades. Very squishy. A couple of musketeers though, low on the anti-cavalry count. Here comes a patch of 5 pikes and 5 musks. 6 musks. 6 musketeer shipment. Oh, let me send 6 longbow first. I think that's longbows to deal with the thing. Oh my! Now this has to be a clear making good use of the building rotator. Yeah, he's got a bit of rectangular land here. He can't build a stable this way because he's blocked in terms of land. I know the map is annoying for you because you've got this little bit of water coming in, but come on, Chusik. Come on, that can't happen. That can't happen. Can't happen. Not liking that. Not liking that at all. Right, pike musketeers coming in. He does see the Uhlans, but these musketeers will just do range damage. And once they get close, just put muskets into hand combat. I like how Lemmings didn't go instantly hand combat early and preempt the Uhlan push. But that settler wagon is going to go down. Actually, if he stands still with that settler wagon, it might just blend in with the environment long enough that it will never get picked off. I think Chusik can just pray about that. Lemmings hasn't seen it. I don't think Chusik is aware of it. Oh, he does now. Oh, rest in peace, settler wagon. It's a shame. Uhlan's trying to pick up reinforcements or just being lucky. Maybe trying to go for a hero raid, but it doesn't feel that's what's needed to be done. Another stable going down from Chusik. Still has his resources. Can't train a batch of units. Ville's being evacuated all over the place. 9 Uhlans catching the reinforcing musks though, and all together the 9 Uhlans fighting. That's quite nice. He's just going to pull his units together, but at this point, Lemmings is just going to say, I want to siege your houses, come to me instead. And, well, market's still up. Market could allow Chusik to buy some, he's going to buy lots of houses at this point, because he needs the houses to throw down, to build, to get the population to send units. Will he get 50 population just before this one goes down? Will he send it? Yes! No! He doesn't! Oh. He tried to send that shipment, but can't get that shipment on the queue. So he needs to sell some food, buy some more wood, it looks like. That house is going down. He's just about built the house there and queued up 8 skirm, but 8 skirm, nice idea, but they're going to spawn on top of the musketeers, the Hussars will cut them down. Let's play fast and let's see what Lemmings sees in the fog of war. Well, he doesn't, to be fair, he doesn't see a lot actually. He's just going to sit here. Here comes skirmishers, and ooh, actually, there's potential here for Chusik to survive. I don't think this is even possible. Uhlans came from the south side. Pike engaging, musketeers engaging, longbows are just on their own. Is that a batch of 5? That's a batch of 5 Huss though. That is a batch of 5 Huss. Musketeers will come in. Those longbows will go down, but the skirmishers will go down. The Uhlans will go down. Yeah, it has to be game. Yeah, that's not looking good, is it? And as you can see, there's literally nothing else. Even Chusik's Island is villas, because what's the point gathering resources if you can't actually build a stable to make units? 6 population versus 24. Eco is just kind of idle for Germany. Does Chusik have a shipment? He's sending 8 Uhlans. He's getting the market down. He's doing everything he can to hang on and hold on to this match. But Lemmings, if Lemmings wanted to, he could back off an age behind this, to be honest. I think that could be the smarter play. Gone for the mill instead of, well, hunting this hunt here. That's quite funny to see. Has he scouted it? Yes, he has scouted it. Not sure about that, especially when you have steel trap villagers. I guess when you have so much wood, it's just nice to say I got these villas safe, but there's only 7 gathering on anyway. Okay, Hussars are now seeing the German coin operating on the eastern side of the map. Couple musketeers just checking there's no villas hunting. 3 musks will see 3 Uhlans. 3 Uhlans going to try to recover this position. Okay, here's the 8 colonial Uhlans coming behind this. Military population is quite low for Lemmings. It's just all over the place. That's the problem. And that's the problem with sending reinforcements on such a large map. It's just they are all over the place. Musk's going to get a decent trade here, and Hussar's going to escape. That is a great decision there from Lemmings. No point fighting that. Just regroup, get 10 Huss, maybe team up with 5 Musk again, and come in. Chusik, no shipments. No units in queue. No stable. Finally building a stable in this position. I like that position actually. All the ecos can get idled again, and it's not often you see a German first coin mine still standing at 15 minutes. I wonder if Lemmings just saw these villas down here thinking, what the deuce has happened? Oh, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. Oh, he's so lucky. Chusik is lucky in that regard. Hussar's going for another raid. We'll see there's no villas here. I guess just siege the houses at this point, really. If you still have infantry, that is. Okay, yeah, pikes come in. Yeah, that's a good choice. There's no way the Germans defend these houses, and then you have to buy some more houses, and coins getting more and more expensive as the game goes on as a result. Couple more infantry going towards the Uhlans. They will get picked off though. They'll see the coin miners are still gathering. Maybe Chusik's just realising the only thing he can really send at this point is mercenaries. What is Chusik sending? It's not mercenaries. He's not sending anything. He's just making war wagons from the stable. Yeah, you can't really go. Can't go Jaegers. You could cancel the war wagons and send Black Riders though. That is a possibility, and that might have been a smarter decision from Chusik in this situation. The house is going down. Is Chusik going to buy some more woods? Well, he needs to do something because he's never going to make any more units after this point. Trying to go for the GG raid down to the south. These villas, they've had their great coats for a while. These villas will be in for a bad time when they see this cavalry, but it's okay. Take the market! Take the market! Ah, come on! So important. So important. Chusik is, you know, he's going to be buying wood to get those houses back up, and you see that housing count is going straight back up. Oh, he's just buying it, isn't he? He's buying. Nice little defensive house enclave here, and the Hussars are right on top, forcing these villas back in. Infantry near behind. But 4 war wagons though. Versus this army though, it's what you want. Just imagine if that was all Black Riders and he could have afforded Black Riders. I think the Black Riders would have just cleaned this up. Would actually clean it up. Oh, 2 mills now. 2 mills from Lemmings. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hunts easily. Yeah, Brit's hunting on this Incan settlement down here, but doesn't want to hunt on any closer hunts. I think he's just so far ahead, he just knows that he's fine. He's just trying to hunt down the German army. He's seen them. Hussars moving to the top side, getting the snare on the war wagons, that's important. You can see all the pikemen are just focusing on the war wagons, just forget the Uhlans kind of, or you can focus them down, quickly pick them off. Oh, skirmishes at this point. What does Lemmings do with his Hussars? Does he focus the war wagons still? Maybe bring 3 onto the skirmishes to tank. His musketeers just charging through the Uhlans as if they're not there. get those XP donators going. War wagons trying to pick off the Hussars, protect the skirmishers, but even 2 Hussars here would be enough onto the skirmisher line. That one is quite annoying for Lemons, but he's already picked off a settler wagon and picked off those war wagons. Chusik, what's his option here? 1 war wagon in queue, but he doesn't have the food. Oh, 4 war wagons in queue. He could buy another batch of food actually from the market to get a 5th batch. He will need 5 to hang on here, but it would be very expensive to do so. Units lost. 4 settler wagons gone down, 2 vills, and more reinforcements for Lemons. And yeah, it's putting pressure on. But actually, no, it's got to the point, you know, with good micro, these Hussars are going to go down before all the skirmishes go down, and then it's just these musketeers feel a bit awkward. Okay, some reinforcing longbow will help deal with the war wagon, but you've got to be careful now, Lemons. You're actually at risk of being cleaned up underneath Chusik's town centre. He has a shipment on the way. What can he send now? Ah, well, that's not a good sight to see. No more free units to send at this point. Skirmishes all going down. War wagons are thrown away. I guess if you're Chusik, you just send 1,000 coin and pray you can gather it all up and just hunt. But that stable is going to go down. Does have the market to have the wood buy another stable. I think it's going to build a stable. He could build a stable down here actually. That's not the craziest idea I've had today. Chances are he'll probably build a stable here next to the TP just because it's probably where the first villa he finds will build it. Yeah, these villas are hunting. He wants to build a stable to train units because he's still getting food. He's now sent the coin. He's all getting food at this point, but Hussars onto the settlers. War wagons incoming still. That stable is now gone. So yeah, I don't think Chusik's going to build a stable here. The only place he can build is down here. I can't expect him that. Like, look at his fog of war. He doesn't really see much. But he sees there's musketeers and longbows walking through the town centre. He's not scared. But a couple of Uhlans will come on top of these colonial musketeers. But what appeared to be a good idea, well, unfortunately, no, it hasn't turned into a great idea. Well, with the war wagons reinforcing it is more longbows coming in, Hussars to snare, and we're back to square one of just having not enough stuff here at the moment.
I am sorry, please. I may not steer.
Does Chusik have anything in queue? No, he does not. No villagers, no war wagons, no stable. Nothing, unfortunately. I think Chusik's mentally done at this point. Just trying to micro the best he can and then look and probably resign after he loses the war wagons because he's not really doing anything just yet. Yeah, he's going to resign now. Has to. Has to. Oh, it's all going down. Not building a stable down there. He's building a tavern. The saloon is up. I repeat, the saloon is up. And that's actually quite a nice idea to actually change into. But even the game's telling Chusik to make Black Riders. He's actually making them now as well. But he's got so much food and wood stockpile just because he couldn't really gather too much. Unfortunately, because it's two of the same unit type, the Manchu and Black Rider, it's not like Manchu and Stradiots or Black Riders and Hackapels, or even like Manchu Swift Pikes. Just you don't have that unit variability. Looking at Chusik's cards, can't send Cav Combat. He sends 12 Jaegers. He sends 12 Jaegers making Black Riders. Even cancel 1 Black Rider to get the coin up, but his nearest coin mine is well over here. He's got 1k left in, or by training post, but he needs those units on the field now. Oh, he's going to have to wait for the Black Rider, single Black Rider Shalamad and Jaegers. Maybe if the Jaegers can sit underneath this tree, and maybe all climb the tree, build a nice little tree house here and use their rifles or muskets out of the tree, they can get a good catch. 2 Black Riders actually get out. Chusik could have sold some food there just to get 3 and 4. Especially if you're on Jaegers, you need those Black Riders to defend. What is this game? I thought this game was over 10 minutes ago. But Chusik is hanging on. It is a tournament game, so fair play for playing to the end. Black Riders engaging the Hussars. That's a nice... Wow. Hassan, he got one shot by these 3 units, and these Hussars, you know, they do have cav HP, but I wasn't expecting it to go down that quickly. Yeah, that's a nice pickup there. And the Jaegers will come out, and they're not uncontested. There's still Hussars here, but will Lemmings take it? He doesn't have to. He's so far in the eco, but I think he just wants to try and just right-click any unit that comes out. Here's the fight, though. Skirmish is about to come out from the town centre. There's the Jaegers, and unfortunately that first Z move just picked off one musketeer, splitting off slightly. But Lemmings is backing off. He just doesn't need to take this. And now, this is when you need those 5 or 9 Uhlans just to move in and snare the army. And the Jaegers can just keep walking and firing behind this. There's no snaring potential here from Chusik unless you go for the Black Rise in hand combat, but you can. You can't risk your only anti-cav here into snaring. You just can't do that. And Lemmings is just going to back off here. Some good action there from Chusik, picking another 3 musketeers off. The chase continues, but more Hussars now coming out. I think, yeah, Lemmings has clocked that saloon's down. It'll take a while for any more Black Friars to be trained, but he realizes that with only 2 Black Friars, 1 war wagon, 15 Hussars. 15 Hussars is what he needs. And he's more longbows. Minutemen coming up to tank as well. This is going to be that final push. But Hussars taking that front line, and longbows focusing down the Black Riders. You can see that Musketeers will be focusing down the Black Riders as well. Even Minutemen getting in. I'd actually like to see these Minutemen snaring the Jaegers in case all the Hussars go down. Very unlikely. Once all that goes down, he's not even moving the anti-cav because he knows he just has to try and pick off the Hussars as fast as possible. Yeah, this has to be a game. And I've crashed. I've crashed. Well, I assume that game has finished. We won't know. Maybe the epic ending was so big. A black hole emerged and sucked both players into oblivion. Xerxes in chat. ESOC TV, please check the Brit base for the 3rd mill. Oh, lol. Right, let's go back in. Oh, I don't need to go online, do I? Yeah, online's for noobs. Right, game number 6 then, it appears, in this marathon of games. So Lemmings won that game, and EP6 game failed to load. Yeah, we're not watching EP. We're not watching me play. We're watching was it Chusik versus Lemmings? So this will cancel. Yeah. Can't watch my recorded games. They're top secret in case I have to play a substitute game for the Wastebeam Wars. But yeah, that won't happen. I'm absolutely trash. Right, game 6, Chusik Lemmings. Here we go. Right, we're in game number 6. Hold up. The what? We are back in. I need to pause this and check. Where were we? So, Lemmings won that last game, so Chusik will have to pick from his home map pool. His map picks are Tuparo, Adirondacks, and Lumarco. He's gone through Adirondacks, Lumarco, so we have Tuparo again, unfortunately. I mean, lovely, we both love Tuparo, but both players have picked Tuparo as a home map. Probably the only 2 other players to actually pick this as a home map in the entire tournament. I find it a bit of a weird map to pick on, but game 6, Tuparo, so that means Lemmings is to pick the civilization first, because this is now Chusik's home map, and Chusik will counter pick. So we're back in the game. It looks like Lemmings was the first pick. Lemmings has picked Germany, and the counter pick from Chusik is, well, it's Germany, and it's a Woodcrate start. So we're gonna have a TP start German mirror. Absolutely lovely. We all love a good old German mirror, don't we, guys? Looking forward to this one. Let's get this game set up. So both players going for the early trading post as standard. Ooh, 216 food. That's going to be his next target. Crack shot one, melee down the other. 100 food, very very nice. Should secure that age up. Does Lemmings see that treasure? I assume not, 'cause he's going the other way, but that's unfortunate. 70 wood's quite nice. 100 food nearby as well. 100 coin. Oh, he crack shotted one of the outlaw blowgunners. He's going to come back for the second treasure guardian there. Picks it up, and they go 100 coin. Unfortunately for Lemmings, there's no way to spend that coin early on. It's a nice treasure to have, but it won't affect that age 1 whatsoever. Both players getting their shipments very, very early. I assume they're both sending settler wagons as start off, because if you're not sending settler wagons as German card number 1, well, you're probably, I don't know, private, corporal, I don't know. I can't think of any reason not to send 2 settler wagons as card number 1 in any fun game mode or whatever. Unless you start in like a colonial age or fortress age. Just having a look around, Lemmings picking up 40 food and 30 coins from low treasures. Chusik's on the top side. He goes past where the 100 coin was, but doesn't see anything else. Sees the trading post, sees that's where Lemmings taking it. Lemmings looking on 40 coin. Villagers chopping trees now in transition. Gonna go for the market down. Market really far forward for Lemmings. We'll get a nice line of sight for side raiding. Market really down for Chusik. Let's look at text being researched. We have Quartermaster, hunting dogs coming at the same time. Yeah, it's going to be hunting dogs, then place of mines. But Chusik, oh, first deviation. Chusik is just getting. Oh no, he's got place of mines as well. I thought he stopped chopping wood at hunting dogs, and then was choosing to get the place of mines, steel traps on the 400 wood or the 700 wood shipment. But yeah, both players, exact copies at the moment. Both aging up with 17 Vil population. Lemmings has secured 2 Vils in. Lemmings secured 2 Vils and now has sent the 3 settler wagon shipments. Chusik has also done so. So opening things. Chusik going place of mines. Great coats. Won't have the resources to go for steel traps. It looks like Lemmings place of mines is done. Has the wood available. 100, yeah, I think he's got the wood available for steel traps at some point. He's already got 1 house down already, so yeah, another house, or maybe he's also going for the 50 house population. I think steel traps is affordable. Yeah, the earlier you get it, the more quickly it pays off. But early barracks from Chusik. I guess Lemmings is going stable, so. Traditionally in this matchup, the standard play is to go for a stable opening, but it has changed more to a doppelsonne opening from the barracks. But this map is so large that actually the stable opening, it just feels, it makes more sense actually. Gets some more pressure on. Yes, those dops will come, but you can always defend with Minutemen and a crossbow shipment if needs be. Quick look at the decks. Hand infantry HP and both the cavalry cards. Chusik. Hand infantry HP, doppelsonners, no cav upgrades. Has the 5 lands as well. I like the 5 art cards there. Each of these cards are very, very strong, but it's just you never really get to the 4th age as Germany. Usually gets to the 3rd age and just spam units continuously at that point. Right, 2 Ulans cross each other. Classic German mirror. Everything is just happening at the same time here. 5 Ulans about to come up from Lemmings though, so these 2 Ulans will get in a nice raid, will force some idle time, but 5 Ulans will come out from the stable and cause will catch this. Actually, Lemmings is pulling back and going to try and catch Chusik's Ulans there, and then one settler is actually walking into the path of the Ulans, but baiting the Ulans onto that pop. That is quite nice, and I think these Ulans are going to try and catch these off. But Chusik's getting out of there. We'll be there just in time. Explorer scouts out the shipment, doing quite nice. Does see the coin, all of it is moving to food. Chusik sees that any units now will not be remade. Lemmings is committing to the age up, and yeah, that's a really, really nice scouting. 3 dops made, but these big boys here, slow movers. They do have 4.5 speed, so they're not actually super slow, but in comparison to cavalry, well, they're never going to chase these cavalry down, so I think Lemmings is safe to age up at this point. May require Minutemen at this point or maybe not at this point, but at some points during the age up to defend from Doppelsonders. And 2 more Uhlans from the next shipments. 700 wood was from Chusik. We have a German Ulan raid here. Units lost. I think we've lost already 1 Vil. That's definitely the first Vil there. Okay, 1 Vil's gone down, but this idle time from the Uhlans is quite nice. But there's only 2. There's 2 doubles here to scare these guys off. They gotta run. Gotta run out. Get out there. Get out there. That single swing has did about 60, 50, 10, about 120 HP worth of damage total. So that's quite a nice pickup there in its own right. But yeah, Ulan's just getting out of the way, causing this idle time. Doppelsonders cannot be at 2 places at once. They're not quantum particles. They're real-life classical hand swordsmen, which are very slow. You can see these Uhlans just raiding that top side, putting pressure on Chusik. And actually, this is why I like the cavalry. It just gives you that mobility and the flexibility that you really need. Yes, Chusik picked off the market. Congrats. Yes, he's now come to the training post. Lovely. But Lemmings is going to be aging up behind this to the fortress age. 7-minute age up time. That's quite nice. Maybe chop a bit of wood in transition. I don't think he's going to send 700 wood in this low eco game. I don't think players are going to greed in this. It's too much a risky matchup to greed. And yeah, Lemmings is going to age up behind this. It's going to come back for more raids in. Those doppels are a little bit out. Another 2 doppels being produced. And that there is 1,000 resources worth of units just to defend raids from units which spawn at the CC for free when you send the shipments. And that is why this is so far going in Lemmings' favour. Yeah, he's just pull out. He's not lose that. That's nice. Train post is going to go down. Let's have a quick look at what Lems is doing. He's now chopping wood with quite a lot of Vils. He lost that market, so he doesn't have gang saw. Doesn't have great coats as well. Herding in as well. Decent timing. And yeah, let's see what's the play is at this point. I assume war wagons queue. Yep, there's a classic 3 war wagon shipment. But he didn't train any war wagons beforehand. That is a mistake from Lemmings. Need to have that 1 war wagon in queue and then send the shipments. Unless that would have caused him to be popped. But he's going to take this fight where he's going to need Minutemen. Minutemen be called. Setup wagons to tank would be really nice actually. Pop the setup wagons back out and just tank so much damage, and all the doppels catching his Uhlans and they're getting cut apart. That is brutal. That is brutal. You shouldn't be losing Uhlans like that. Oh no. Not like this. But what can I say? That is Lemmings being the OP player and the pro player. He purposely deleted those Uhlans so that he get the population space to train a veteran war wagon. You see, you just can't make this up. This is the highest level gameplay continuously, which we are treated to. I don't think there's enough siege here to siege the stable down, and the 3 war wagons will come at a nice time. Oh, he's going to catch these Uhlans. That's smart. Once they're down, then you can just bully the Doppelsonders because they can't run. They can't outrun these guys in wheels. But, you know, he's just going to focus this down. War wagons, they do have a melee resist as well. High HP. Yeah, that's a nice defense. And these doppels, they're going to run away, but they're kind of stuck regardless. Lemmings is going to send 1,000 wood, and I think that's probably the smart decision here. He knows he's up in age before Chusik. Chusik likely to age at this point, which he's doing so now. He has time to send wood and then build some infrastructure, which he desperately needs. These doppels just going to get focused down. And the game progresses. Vils mining lots of coin at this point. Actually, he's fully mining coin at this point. Is Lemmings thinking of going for a mercenary after this? I know he just had no access to hunts. But there's so many hunts over here. There's so many hunts over here. Do you see that? Can you see that? He does see that. Bit curious he's moving all his Vils this side. But it doesn't overly matter. He'll get 2 war wagons out and 5 war wagons out on the board. Certainly much stronger than what Chusik will have for a while to come. Let's play fast. Chusik did get his steel traps though. Lemmings only went for the hunting dogs. There's the 1k woods, and he's going to throw down a market house. Is he engaged on that? Oh, Minutemen come out. Where's my play fast? Minutemen come out. He went fishing for those Doppelsonders, but got more than he bargained for when those Minutemen came out and did a lot of damage on that war wagon. Didn't pick up a unit there, but certainly picked up more HP than Lemmings really wanted to give away at that point. Skirmishes come out, and he is back at this point. So Lemons is getting one wagon Q, steel traps. He needs a lot of food, and he's still got lots of wood available for more houses. Chances are he's going to build another 3 houses and then get veteran Uhlans at some point. That's critical. He could go for amalgamation as well. That is a very strong possibility. But I just think maybe Lemons just doesn't have the full eco behind that to afford to get a greedy tech like that in, especially when you really need the wood for the houses. It's just what Germans. The thing you can't get away when you play German is just the continuous housing that you need. Yeah. Right, 2 war wagons have been traded now. He did get a batch of 3 in that last batch. He did back off that fight with only 1 war wagon, so that second batch coming in, but he just needs more food. He's desperate for more food. Having said that, though, he will soon have enough coin to send Black Riders or Jaegers if he does choose so. Maybe not by wanting to do so, but by sheer necessity of having to do so due to this miss macro of Lemons. Which, I mean, I perceive it to be miss macro. But having said that, when you're so close to 1,000, you think you might as well keep it there. And has he just sent a shipment? I think he's just got the shipment. It's about a click up. 22. I think this UI is a little bit off. Lemons, yeah, he's going to send that shipment, isn't he? 3, 2, 1. He's probably frantically clicking that button right now. Or that button. One of the two. Which one will it be? He's going for the Jaegers. Yep, Jaegers on the way. Makes sense. He's training war wagons behind from the stable. He does have a Rax, but it's quite slow to amass a skirmisher lead from a single barracks. Does Chusik have 1 or 2 barracks? He has 1, but he sent 8 skirm, 7 skirm. I think this is the Giving Zardi build where he does like 8 skirm, 7 skirm, and then goes for Jaegers afterwards, actually. So, will Chusik go for a lot of coin at this point and Jaegers at some point afterwards? Architects, no amalgamation. Neither player going to get amalgamation in this game, it looks like. But the war wagons at this point is just enough to deal with what Chusik has in terms of cavalry and war wagons, and the Jaegers will just rip through these skirmishes. And well, it's not even a question who wins, a Jaeger or 1 HP Minutemen. But for those who are unsure, yeah, Jaegers do beat 1 HP Minutemen. Yeah, my game crashed. It's 2 all. Lemons won the last. No, it's 3-2, isn't it? For game 6. Lemons won the last game. It's Chusik's home map pool. Yeah, German mirror for game 6. Right, let's get the next big battle engagement. Okay, Ulan raid south side will pick up 1 Vil, cause a bit of idle time, and forces the retreat, but out come the war wagons picking off 2 doppels already. The skirmishers are going to turn around thinking, oh, I can take this. They see the Jaegers, and oh, no they can't. Jaeger trade off. More war wagons, but actually, because they have the Jaegers in the field, Jaegers basically counter everything here. And the Jaeger's decision was a very nice one in the end. 2 Ulans going for a raid at the same time. This is going to be tough for Chusik to defend, and that is a great raid. Oh, there's 1 dop here. There's 1 doppels on there. Lemon somehow sees it as well, having to manage all this, but unfortunately does lose 2 war wagons to the skirmisher mass, which is a tiny little bit sloppy. You just want your skirmishers in that front line continuously. You see how Chusik's war wagons in the back line? Yes, skirmishers can't touch those. Right, Chusik was chasing that single 1 Ulan there, but maybe in the range of the skirmisher, he just does get out. Skirmishers, though, need to form that front line very quickly. Villagers are at risk here of skirmisher pickups. War wagons just got to tank within the skirmishers, and you see, yeah, 1 Vil going down, great. That's not too bad. Oh, these skirmishers still 1-hit KO the war wagon. That's brutal. But this is going to be that big fight, I think. Does Chusik have a shipment on the way? 9 Ulans are being sent right now, but these are colonial Ulans. Once again, both players in all these German games not really getting a veteran Ulan. It's just they've had no time to send it, and I think that's it actually. Yeah, yeah. The game's over. It looks like. Who actually won? Lemons won? Lemons has won, has he? I don't actually know, guys. I think Lemons has won. like it's not over into the fact that there's things, but
Ja.
Auftrag?
I guess we're getting there. That there's more war wagons here. Those war
Yeah,
wagons were
right.
pulled forward and will get cut down. Units lost 3, Jaegers lost. So is there 9 Jaegers still here? Let's count the Christmas hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 over skirmishers.
Bereit.
Did lose a couple of
Aufgabe?
war wagons. I guess I will. I guess Lemons wins it. I'm gonna call it as Lemons has won it 4-2. I think I'll open game number 7 just to check who won this game. In the meantime, let's just check for the villager count. Yeah, villager population, should I say, ahead for Lemons because he did pick off quite a few units from Chusik. Got a nice 1 vill raid here as well. It's quite nice. But towards the end, 1 settler wagon, 1 vill, 2 vills going down. So nice pickups there. Military population in ahead. But it's not just military population, it's unit quality. We had the Jaegers on the field for the skirmish. I think the Jaegers also cost 1 population. So significant military strength in favour of Lemons. All resources gathered pretty close. Shipments total, I think it's pretty much trading because both players had the TP for a long time. But Chusik did take down Lemons' trading post at a position. You can see that. You can see how this changes over at that point for the kill bounty and the lack of XP coming in. That's probably the point the trading post gets taken off. Yeah, very, very close. Lemons builds the trading post briefly, but gets taken down very, very quickly. But at that point, that just buys more time for the Jaegers to come out and see. At this point, Chusik backs off, but Lemons just comes in with the Jaeger shipment and yeah, starts to really pull ahead at that point. Point total, Lemons just about ahead. I think once it got that age up queue, got the buildings down, just had all the bills on coin and just slightly ahead. And I guess that's a good indication of military, a representation of the amount of military units on the field. But yeah, so I think the series is 4